Fucking no prep. And we're on.
No prep.
That's it. Gone.
Literally just walked in the door. He threw a mug at my face and hit record.
I mean, mugless men.
I mean, sometimes we have like a bit of a banter.
Welcome to the Double D fucking talk show.
Yeah, Double D
on
talk
health.
show. Under the health department, because that's who's probably going to close us down eventually.
It's also under comedy, too.
It's under comedy.
Which apparently people don't like our comedy.
Well, yeah, apparently. It seems that we've offended a record amount of people with our most recent episode.
Which was our goal.
It was.
So this will be the last one because we've reached our goal.
Apparently.
Now we have to make new goals.
I always knew it was going to end at some point. Probably when Doug just stopped letting me come to his house. There were a couple of times where I'm like, oh shit, I think Doug's done. And I just kind of gave him some space. And then we came back. And then I thought, oh, now Doug's done.
Got a busy life. Sometimes things get in the way.
Well,
next week, I'll be in Philly.
In West Philadelphia?
Born and raised.
On a playground is where he broke his leg.
Oh. What's in the fucking fridge?
What's in the fridge? Might be a heavy piece of subject matter to start the podcast. The talk show.
We've had this before, but we got to get rid of this. Collingwood downhill.
Oh, is that the one that we liked, or the one that was hoppy but okay?
I don't remember.
Screw it. Drink it. Drink it, then screw it, or screw it then drink it.
But you know, since fucking the snow's gone, it's gonna be like plus fucking 14 this week and everything.
Well, maybe that'll dry up the lake in your front yard.
No. It's spring lake. It'll go for a bit and then it'll disappear.
You could probably magnet fish in your front yard now.
I think that's looks hobby.
It's not that
smells hobby.
I remember it being good.
Sure, Lose.
Here's to our interview show,
the talk show,
our talk show where we
that does trivia. What the fuck?
You know what? We've asked each other questions in the past. We've done riddles. We've done shit with people on TikTok. Asking questions. That's what we do.
I listen to fucking podcasts that have trivia on it.
Yeah, too. I mean, that's something that they do, or they just they ask each other questions and they try to stump each other.
So riddle me this, Batman. If a podcast isn't a talk show, what is it?
A podcast. I guess if you look at the formula of a talk show, they have guests kind of coming through with the same host, whereas a podcast has usually one guest per episode. I mean, is that really the big difference? And it's not in front of an audience. Like a talk show is filmed in front of an audience. That's a big difference between a talk show and a podcast. I think really we just heard a comment from somebody who doesn't listen to a lot of podcasts, especially the newer ones. There's about, what did you say, 150,000 podcasts out there?
I think there's more than that.
Ours is in the top 2% most popular podcasts because there's so many. And they only got one person, and they're the only one that listens to it. Whereas me and Doug both listen to it, which top 70% elevation right there. Although if you count Denise, then technically we do this in front of an audience. And the fish.
Yeah. Listen.
Where's it going? You're not getting something else from the fridge. Is it what's on the? What do you got?
Well, yeah.
You got something?
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Watching this new little mini-series on fucking Netflix, The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
So you know how there was a Guy Ritchie movie, The Gentleman?
Yeah, I love that show. That one with Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam. That's a fucking great movie.
So it's kind of a spin-off of that. It's Guy Ritchie.
Okay.
But it's a mini-series, and Buddy's in the UN, and his dad dies, and he goes back to inherit the estate and everything. Finds out that underground, his dad had a secret deal with a company to they grow marijuana underground on the estate, and then he's trying to get the estate separated from that. and he has a brother that's kind of bad news. And the more he's into trying to separate the estate from, the pot business, the deeper and deeper he's getting into more and more crime.
So is it like a prequel series, or is it like just a straight spinoff?
I think it's just like kind of a straight spinoff, but on the same.
Because the pot growing underground thing was part of The Gentleman.
Yeah.
They had the secret pot location, and then those boxing guys made a video of them breaking in and stealing shit.
Yeah.
And powdering some guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's
great.
You recommend?
Yeah, we've been watching the last 3 or 4 episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's really good actually.
I'll have to check that out. I'm still blowing through It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I can't believe it's on Disney. Considering how fucking woke and awful Disney is. I mean, it's not a Disney show, granted. Right. Disney has the rights to it. But it's like 100% opposite of what Disney puts out. It's so fucking offensive. But I love it. To me, it's just... It's like things have become so... that now it's like I need offensive, borderline psychotic to just feel normal.
Speaking of offensive, borderline psychotic, I was the Machine.
The Machine. So I went and saw Bert Kreischer. He was great. Also, I can't remember the names. Nat knows them, but he had 3 comics warm up for him, and I think 2 of them are Canadian. And the one guy I sent you, he was homeless. And he was making TikToks, and he blew up, and now he does stand-up. And I sent you a video. I think I sent it to you. And it's of a guy. He's like, hey, can my dog play with your dog? Did you see that one? And he comes over to this lady with her dog in a park, and he's got this, like, fucking werewolf-looking thing, and it's a person in a suit with these huge long legs and this creepy head. And she's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, this is my dog. Can my dog play with your dog? She's like, that's not a dog. And he's like, well, people have different kinds of pets. And I mean, he's friendly and he's nice. And he's petting this like thing in the suit. Anyway, that guy
was there.
He was one of them, and he was great. He was really funny, like natural comedian. The third guy, I gotta send you some clips. He did all these jokes, and one of them about time travel, which was like one of the best time travel bits I've ever seen. And then after the first 3 guys, and they were all great, Bert comes out, and his show was solid. Yeah, he was really funny. His eyes looked like shit, though. Like, you're watching Bert. That was the one thing I kept seeing, because he's done a lot of shit to himself. He's partied way too hard.
Yeah.
And he's lost a lot of weight. I know that recently he was having health issues, and he's made a huge change. He dropped a ton of weight. He dropped like 40 pounds. So his body looks great, but you can't hide the damage to certain parts of you. And just under his eyes, he's got these dark bags. And you can't, unless you're doing surgery or going to a spa every day, there's nothing you can do about that. That's like the alcoholism has made a permanent thing. You don't have that, which is so weird because you're
very fucking weird.
One of the worst alcoholics I've met in my life.
Fucking, so that was Saturday or Friday?
That was Friday. So Friday night, switched cars. My in-laws took the boys for the night. We went down, parked, took the subway all the way down to Union. Riding the subway, boy, oh boy, you know how we've had our talks about life in the big city. I got to tell you.
Did you go to like Vaughan Mills and take the subway down from there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from the start, all the way to Union,
down. Yeah,
and then all the way back. I tell you see some shit on the subway. I hadn't taken it in a really long time. Not since Nat and I went to see a concert years and years ago. Was the last time I was down there on the subway. But yeah.
When I used to go to Leaf games, that's what I'd do. I'd go down there. And
well, that's where this was.
Fucking wait. Yeah, so
it's at the Scotia Center.
Right, so it's just get off there, but because driving down into the city is fucking shit.
Yeah, I feel bad for Leaf fans. I mean, I was sitting there And I'm sitting where the Leaf fans sit, watching the Leaf games, and they got all these banners up on the top of all the Stanley Cups that have been won. And it's like, what happened? The last one was over 40 years ago. More than 50. 60? 60 years ago? 50 years ago?
More.
Yeah. I don't want to make too many.
Too late.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much about time and age.
1967. 57, almost, it'll be 58 years this year.
I got a really angry email about making fun of your age.
Oh,
somebody.
Yeah.
One of our other geriatric listeners.
Oh, yeah, that's also something, who reads emails, not podcasts?
Well, yeah,
That's
I know.
fucking strange, too.
So what does that make it? So it's not a talk show.
Wait,
somebody
was angry? Huh?
Do talk shows read out emails?
Depends what talk show it
Fan
is.
mails?
Sure.
Because I tell you, of all the emails we've gotten, not many of them have felt like fan emails. Most of them felt like people who were just taking a shot, taking the piss.
Wait, so somebody was pissed off you keep fucking making jokes about my age?
Somebody said something. I'm not exactly sure. I usually
Good for them. Thank you, whoever you are.
I got two angry emails, and then one actually that I was quite flattered. Somebody came to my defense and spoke up for me, which was nice. So the first of the three emails. Oh no, wait, there's three. Hold on. Oh yeah, and I responded to one. Oh, boy,
Did you?
I did. So somebody sent a like this. This is how long it is. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't see it.
It looks pretty white.
It's just white, just whiteness. Sorry, but it's a full page. A full page. I'm not going to read it because it's too fucking long. I'll read you some highlights.
What's this one?
Hope this email finds you well and get ready to engage in some self-reflection. I recently stumbled upon yet another one of those hilarious jokes. And I'm not going to pay homage to which joke it was because it was just that funny. Let's see. We were called tiresome, downright offensive, public scrutiny and judgment, downright rotten. I understand comedy is subjective, but let's not forget that we live in an era where inclusivity and respect should be blah, blah, blah. Wow. I implore you to think twice before sharing or blah, blah, blah for the sake of everyone's sanity and dignity. What did you say that upset this person? Alongside other relics of ignorance. Wow, we get called a lot of things in this email. And again, I don't want to give this person too much credit after boring me to death with this, but I did respond.
Wait. We're offensive?
Ignorant.
Well, that's what we set out to do.
Scrutiny, judgmental.
I'll take that as a badge of honor, that email.
I might have to, maybe we'll post it someday. It was about one of the jokes we made in our previous episode, but they were pretty angry. So I replied.
And
I said, thank you for your email. We here at the Double D's podcast love to hear from our fans. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Support us on Patreon, GoFundMe, OnlyFans, and FeetFinder. We are always looking for new content and interesting people and things to talk about. We value our fans and our listeners. Our listeners as we climb from 8 to 9. Once again, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, share, and join our cult. Since the beginning of the Double D's podcast, we have gone through a lot of growth and change, but one thing that has stood the test of time is that we really need you to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Like, follow, subscribe, join us, bring your wife and daughters. Thank you and good night. Sincerely, Doug.
oh, perfect. Well, no, hey, you know what? I'm glad we could offend you, and I hope you stick around to be offended some more.
Oh, I guarantee it'll happen. So that was just one email.
Because quite frankly, Chuck, I don't give a fuck.
Fuck the Chuck and Chuck the fucks. And then there's another one. This one's the one that comes to your defense.
Didn't read that one.
What's that?
Go.
Do you want me to read the whole I'm offended email?
Go.
All right. So this one says, hey, Double D's team. I hope this email finds you in good spirits and with plenty of coffee to keep you your witter banter flowing on the podcast.
Coffee?
I know we drink beer. I've been a loyal listener for quite some time, and I've got to say, you guys never fail to entertain. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for a good laugh, and Dan's humor is usually spot on. However, I've noticed a recurring theme that's starting to feel a bit like deja vu. Dan, my friend, yes, fan, you've got this knack for poking fun at Doug's age.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I mean, we get it. He's been around the block a few times, but age is just a number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been around the block a few times. What's that supposed to mean?
I'm wondering now if this is like I'm coming to your defense and shitting on you at the same time. Now that I'm reading it out loud, it does kind of have that. I understand it's all in good fun, but Doug's a champ for taking it on the chin every episode.
Yes!
Gets something on his chin every episode. Let's mix it up a bit, shall we? Maybe a new target for Dan's quick wit. Or hey, Doug could unleash a few age-appropriate zingers of his own. Yeah, because, people hate it when you make fun of them for being younger. I'm not trying to be a party
Fuck
pooper.
you, young lad. What are you, a fucking Gen Z or something?
Probably. I'm not trying to be a party pooper. I'm just hoping for a fresh dose of humor that doesn't involve counting Doug's gray hairs.
You ain't even wet behind me. What?
Fuck me, man.
Counting my gray hairs?
I don't think we can count. I don't know.
No, you can count.
Well, the hairs on the top of his head won't take long. The beard, though.
See, that's why I wear the hat.
I'd need like the.
We're just not counting the hairs on my back.
I don't know. No. I'll let your wife do that.
I shave the pubes, so there's nothing to be counting there.
Well, count what's left on the sink. I'm not trying to be.
That's what the young lads do, right?
Yeah, usually. Although now they're like, shaving strawberries into their man zones. Actually, that's what ladies do. Some ladies will pay like huge amounts of money to have these like artists like shave a strawberry into their pubes.
How do you know this?
Because I've seen shit on it. I was watching. I had a female roommate once back like 12 years ago, and she watched a lot of weird fucking shows. She watched the Kardashians and Glam Fairy and all that weird crap, and there was all this stuff about like these beautification things women would do, and these things they pay crazy amounts of money to do, fucking dog yoga, shit like that. And one of them, this lady was a specialist in shaving things into women's pubic hair, so she could make it look like there was a strawberry above their little man in the boat. That kind of shit. And hey, all the power to you.
Interesting.
That's not the fruit I'm looking for. I'm not trying to be a party pooper. I just hope for a fresh dose of humor that doesn't involve counting Doug's gray hairs. Keep up the fantastic work. And Doug, you're as timeless as a fine wine. Let's remind Dan of that. Of what? That Doug is timeless? Doug is timeless. Doug is old wine that is timeless. Awesome.
Wine gets better with time. I think that's what they're trying to fucking say.
Yeah, until it
That I'm better.
the
Then fucking a young fucking.
until some old guy's trying to pour the aged wine and his hands are shaking and wine's going everywhere. He can no longer hold a spear to hunt the stegosaurus so he can eat. Anyway, looking forward to the next episode and more laughs that don't come at Doug's age expense. Cheers. Listener 3A, dedicated Double D's listener. 3A? What the fuck does that mean?
Listener 3A?
Are you guys numbering yourselves now? They probably have a fucking Discord
He's
server.
the third listener. A.
God.
Maybe is there a listener B?
I don't know. Maybe this is listener B. This is the last email. I just actually got this one tonight about 3 hours ago because they know we film on Mondays. This one says, "Hey, Double D's. I love that last episode. So friends of mine listened with me and we enjoyed trying to answer the questions. We have to call bullshit on the victory, though." I found this interesting. Dan took a shot for trying to help with the latitude and longitude, as well as calling Jenner out calling Jenner out of turn as a joke. There was a third one on there too, but I'm too drunk to remember. Point is, he might be drunk, but he ain't dumb. Just shit at games. What under the fridge? Post Severn represent. Port Severn represent.
What under the fridge?
What under the
I
fridge?
fucking heard that term before.
No, I think that's the thing. I think this person actually was drunk. It reads like a drunk email.
We had what under the fridge. We mentioned that on an email fucking the other week.
Well, that's a callback to the Christmas episode. When you had that zinger.
The fridge? What's
You're
under
like,
the,
well,
what's
before
under
we
the-
start, what's under the fucking fridge? And I'm just like, what's under the fridge? And you look at me like I'm
I'm
crazy.
at the tree.
I know.
God damn it.
It was a great
So hold on
moment.
a second. So first of all, fucking Port Severn, fucking redneck, fucking yippies up there.
We'll just call you PS for short.
The Jenner one, okay. What transformation does a character go through? Okay. Dan had to answer it 5 fucking times before he got the correct answer.
3. It was 3 times.
I don't care.
It was
You got it
3
wrong twice. Nowhere in the rules does it say you can answer until you get it right. So he took a shot.
And I still drank.
So he took a shot. Yeah, but he was saying you shouldn't have taken a shot.
No. I
Yes.
took the shot because I called out of turn. That said, you answered out of turn, drink. And I took the shot. Then I poured another shot and I tried to answer and I didn't get it right the first time. And you're like, oh, you fucking answered it 5 times. I was like, all right, I'll take a shot.
Well,
And I took another shot.
She runs the rules, not fucking PS from fucking wherever.
Did you notice how she was either surprised when I got the answers right or disappointed when I got the answers right? And I said that to her. I'm like, is it weird? And she was like pissed at me. She was like, oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Like, you were like surprised and angry. And I still lost. Although PS is on my side.
Well.
I guess that just means, we'll have to have a rematch at some point. Here on the Double D's Talk Show /pod show /podcast /geriatric hour. Well, 2 hours if Doug stays awake. And that's it for listener emails. Thank you, everybody who contributed to the content for the show. You will receive a certificate in the mail and a coupon to the helmet store. Half off.
That fucking first listener there needs a fucking you should have sent them a coupon to the helmet store.
Well, I thought it would be funnier if I just replied and didn't address any of their concerns at all. Use your name. I could have said Dr. Sleep. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure that whoever they are even angrier now. I mean,
So fucking Mike Tyson's fighting
Logan Paul
Logan, yeah,
on Netflix.
on Netflix.
So I don't have to pay. I just have to watch.
Yeah.
And I would watch that.
Although, okay, so they're probably thinking, fuck, we're gonna get a whole bunch of new subscribers.
Well, that and they'll get the watch time, right? And people it might be it's a Netflix special, but it'll have commercials or it'll have sponsorship or something.
So is Mike Tyson gonna bite his ear off?
I would hope he bites his whole face.
He's gonna fucking.
He can only get in one good bite before they stop the fight. And the thing is, Tyson at this point has got to know this is going to be one of his last fights. It's kind of a joke. It's an exhibition against a fucking YouTuber.
Have you fucking seen him fucking sparring?
He's still got it.
Holy fuck!
He was on Rogan a while back.
He jumps.
Yeah, he was talking about fighting again, and Rogan was talking about a video of him training, and Tyson was like, it's fucking tiring. It's way harder than it used to be, but he's still, even Tyson at that age.
If it goes long. But he did fight. He fought a fucking younger guy like a couple of years ago, and they were going to do like a fucking Holyfield Tyson matchup again.
Yeah.
Can't remember the boxer's name, but he was an older boxer champion, younger than Tyson by maybe 10, 15 years. And they fucking went the full round. And the guy was like going like, the guy was fucking hurting. He was like, fuck, man, the guy still hits like a fucking mule.
Yeah. He doesn't have that insane fucking like destructive power he had in his youth. You ever watched his old fights?
I used to watch them all the time.
Oh my
I used
god!
to watch it all the time.
I'd never seen a lot of them when I was younger, but I at one point they were all on TikTok. I was scrolling through it. Somebody was posting all of Tyson's old fights.
We watched them,
and
all.
It was like it wasn't like watching a boxer fight another boxer. It was like watching a fucking like an animal just rip apart a human being. The way he'd hit guys, and it was like their whole body took.
No, he would fucking he would.
He put so much power into those hits.
He had this fucking jab where a guy would and he'd come up with an uppercut and fucking just end you.
Yeah.
Well, and he was so quick at it.
Yeah, like the guy was born to fight. Born to fight.
The guy was an animal.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking back then, like, and the antics he got in, he married that Robin, that woman and shit, and all this shit. I mean, he was trained to be a fucking animal.
Was.
And that's why you thought of him. He was just a nutcase animal, right? Because
well, you take that level of fame, especially for being a fighter at that age.
Yeah, and all the money, but you're trained to be a killer.
Yeah.
Right? Just and where's the off switch and everything. And then later when I heard him on Rogan and he did his own little tour talk show and shit, the guy's fucking brilliant.
He is smart.
The books he's read, he reads a lot of books like on like William the Conqueror and Genghis Khan and all these successful people,
powerful men that people fear.
Yeah. The guy's and then I saw him when he got back in the ring there a couple of years ago. I see him sparring now. I looked at a video of him sparring just the other day. He's fucking quick as shit, man.
And like again, there's part of me that wants him to get into that fight and just fuck Paul up. Like go into it.
You think they got some little fucking thing going on there?
Oh,
or is Logan Paul going to run around and hide from him and tire him out?
No, I think it's going to be Tyson. You know, if they were orchestrating it to be a dance, Tyson will come out crazy, Clubber Lang style, Rocky 3. You know, second fight with come out just all haymakers and huge shots, and Logan's like, "Oh, I'm younger, I'm faster," and maybe he'll duck and dodge and pick him apart the first round. The second round, Tyson will get a huge hit. Logan Paul will drop, but he'll get up, stick in it. How many rounds is it going to be? 5?
Probably 3.
Because it's an exhibition, right? But then my hope is that the dance ends in the third round when what's supposed to happen doesn't happen because Mike Tyson's fucking crazy. And he's more about legacy than money because he already has money. So he throws out the plan and just goes 100% and decimates Logan Paul, breaks his face, and changes him physically for the rest of his life. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm saying that's what I want to happen.
It's going to be fucking interesting. I can't remember who the guy he fought before.
I don't know. But this whole fake sports, like it's like when reality TV says it's reality TV, but it's not reality. It's scripted. It's people playing characters. And nobody believes it anymore, but they still call it reality TV. It should be based on a true story entertainment. I don't know. So this Logan Paul shit, I honestly believe it's all orchestrated.
Oh, this shit
because real fighting, people get disappointed when they watch real fighting. People wait to see a clash between two giants, and it's been built up, and the fight happens, and it doesn't live up to the expectations of the audience. And most of the people watching this shit now are expecting a certain outcome. And if they don't get it, then they're disappointed, they're pissed off, and they complain. So Logan Paul comes up with this brilliant thing. I'm going to create this fucking fight content that's orchestrated. It's not quite professional wrestling, but it's...
Well, I mean, he hasn't been really fighting boxers, like good boxers. And
he's this generation's Charlie Kaufman when it comes to fighting. Andy Kaufman, sorry, my bad. Andy Kaufman, when
Charlie
he would wrestle...
Kaufman,
when he was,
that's his cousin.
That's his brother, isn't it?
Well, it's Leland's aunt.
Yes, Leland Gibbons' aunt. But no, he used to wrestle women back in the day, and he would beat women up in the wrestling ring. Yeah. And then Larry, what's his name? The real wrestler, something the King, Larry the King.
No, yeah, I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. That wrestler wrestled him.
It was on a talk show, and he fucking suplexed him or whatever.
He suplexed him, fucked his neck
the
up.
fucking neck thing.
Yeah. And then somehow Chinsley went in the fight or whatever, and it was all staged. The whole thing was staged, and people didn't like it as much, or it didn't have the angle, and they ended up ending the angle. I didn't. Again, this is before my time. I saw it in Man on the Moon,
right?
Like, so I don't know if that. Again, it's a biopic. Biopics take a lot of liberties. I don't know how true it is to the real story of what happened, but
that went down.
It did,
yeah,
just like that.
Yeah.
So
pretty much. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's like
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah.
That's the man.
The last time Tyson fought was in November of 2020, and he fought Roy Jones Jr., who was a former heavyweight champ.
Okay.
But
two
again,
old guys fighting.
Well, Tyson was, like I said, about 10, 15 years older than Roy.
Okay.
And Roy fucking blocked a lot of shots, but you could see he was fucking hurting from it.
Well, shit, blocking a shot from Tyson, even if he hits you in the shoulder or the arm.
Oh yeah, he was like, and after Tyson was just all fucking credit to Roy Jones, and he was like, fuck, Roy Jones was going, holy shit, this guy can still hit, and
still hit like
and
a train.
Tyson's like, oh fuck you were right in there, and it was like. If you watch some of his old fights, every time fucking Tyson like fucking killed somebody, you'd be like right in there, like, oh fuck, trying to help him up. Are you okay and shit?
Yeah.
Near the end of his reign, when he was knocking guys out in the first 30 seconds, how about that? You pay fucking whatever $50,000 to get ringside, and you want to fight for 30 seconds.
And that's the thing, and that's why. Sometimes fights are organized, and anytime you see a fight that's staged, they're like, okay, they're going down in the fourth, and people at least get to see the fight, and people get what they pay for. They get a finish. That's what people want, and then people call it, and they make their money when they rig the fight. You want the fans happy, and you want a lot of money to change hands.
So way back in the day, a guy that I worked with. In Scarborough, his cousin was Razor Ruddock.
Okay.
And we used to go train with him in the gym. Kind of.
Yeah. Go work out.
And Razor Ruddock is fucking big boy, right?
Yeah.
And when he fought Tyson broke his jaw in the 7th round.
Oh, Jesus.
And he still went the distance with him. He lost the fight. But he went the distance with, and after he says, like, Tyson fucking, his punch is like a mule kicking.
God.
Yeah.
Remember when I was a stupid kid, I would ask people, like, would you rather be punched in the guts by Mike Tyson or kicked in the head by Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Listen, we'd put gear on and kind of spar with Razor Ruddock, and
take
didn't
the
do
hits?
it too often.
Ooh, no.
Like, yeah. Well, but we're fucking young, so... We get our fucking pound on and laugh, and the next guy.
I saw this video of a bodybuilder.
Idiots.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a bodybuilder. He does a lot of content. And he was talking to these guys at a Muay Thai gym about taking a leg kick. And he's talking to the fighter, and the guy's like, okay, but we're going to get this guy to give it to you. And it's a kid who's like 11 years old. And he's like, all right. Kid comes up, wham, and he's like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
It's like, if you know how to throw one of those things, ooh.
You can totally win a fight if you fucking get enough.
Oh, you destroy a guy's leg early, they can't fucking move. They can't put weight on it. Their balance is gone. I've seen tons of fights end where somebody's leg has been kicked to shit and they can't walk anymore. If you don't check those things early, you're fucked.
When Tyson fought Roy Jones, they were kind of talking about maybe doing like a seniors boxing.
Like what's that movie? The one. Where De Niro and Stallone
Raging
fight.
Bull?
No. It was almost like De Niro's Raging Bull was fighting Stallone's Rocky, but it was a movie about two guys that fought when they were young, and then they end up fighting again as older guys. Oh, shit, I can't remember what that was called. I never watched it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it was a boxing movie.
But yeah, so that they were talking about the next fight was going to be like Holyfield and Tyson and stuff. It's like, fuck.
All right.
But it never happened.
I mean-
It never materialized. Like just a 3-round, you know. But
Exhibition.
I
Yeah.
think everybody was like, I ain't fucking fighting Tyson.
No. Well, I mean, when's this happening again? This fight?
Like June or July.
Oh, fuck. Well, we'll be sure to talk about it when it happens. I'm not holding my breath or anything, but yeah, that'll be fun.
I watch Tyson. Like I said, I used to follow boxing big time because we knew guys in it, and we used to follow like when Lennox Lewis and all those fucking guys were fighting. Even before that, with Sugar Ray Leonard, and Spinks, and all those fucking guys. I used to be big in the boxing, but it kind of fell out. The last fight I saw was Oscar De La Hoya was fighting somebody to retain the belt. I can't remember who the fucking guy was. And all he did was, he didn't even fight. He just fucking ran from the guy the whole fucking fight. Like,
He ran from De La Hoya?
no, De La Hoya fucking,
Ran from him?
De La Hoya, yeah, just kind of fucking backed up and didn't really engage in the fight. So he won. And he won. It was like, this is bullshit. You have to win the fucking fight.
No.
You can't fucking just, not let the other guy beat you. That's not winning a fucking fight, in my mind.
Well, he had to have been throwing enough shots to win the rounds.
He didn't throw fucking, it was terrible. Trust me. It was like, and then that was really the last time and then boxing kind of fell off, and then MMA started and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, MMA kind of killed boxing the way the video killed the radio star. But soon they'll have robot fighting, and that'll.
Oh, fuck, they had robot fighting when I was a kid. Rock'em Sock'em.
No, I mean like robot boxers.
Yeah, they were robot boxers, right? And you'd fucking knock the head off.
Yeah, but I'm talking like Real Steel style boxing.
They were.
You ever see Real Steel? The movie?
No.
It's about robots that box.
That's gay. That's gay.
That's.
I mean, gay like in a happy, good way.
Well, it is a happy, good movie. It's about a man reconnecting with his son. And he's
Don't send me another fucking email, fucking Mr. Offended Man.
Oh, he might.
Whoever you are.
There was something I saw the other day, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, but that's gay," and I'm like, "Listen," I'm like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "This isn't something where you normally hear that, but it's kind of true." Oh no, it was one of the comedians. It was the Burt Kreischer comedian. I can't remember what. He's like, "That's fucking gay, though," and I'm like, "It's like, can we say that? We're in Toronto," and everyone's laughing. I'm like, "Okay, I guess we can." It's kind of been universally agreed upon.
You can say anything.
It's a generational word. It doesn't mean
no. Listen,
what it used to mean.
In comedy, you can say comedy. You're allowed. Comedy is meant to take poke at everything.
Yeah.
To make fun of, all the stuff that people are walking on eggshells and everything. Fuck that. Life's too short. You gotta laugh.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Things are funny.
I grew up Catholic. And yeah, I know it's fucking worst. So I heard the term and the expression used, "That's gay" or "That's fucking gay," all the time, but I didn't know what gay meant. I didn't know that there was such thing as same-sex couples. I had no fucking idea. But when you did something or something bad happened, people would just say, "Oh, that's fucking gay," and you associate it with that. And it's not until later you realize the harmful thing that's being implied, or that people have heard their parents say it, or their fucking drunk uncle at a birthday party say it, and you don't make that association. So now, and much like everything I've learned when I was a kid in Catholic school, everything I learned is now offensive. Everything I was taught is how you do things is now considered offensive and wrong. Which, I mean, you're probably in the same boat.
Get a fucking helmet.
Yeah. I mean, you should get a helmet, because if you get easily offended.
Listen, there's way more things to be worried about than fucking being offended. It's
gay.
You know what? Good. You have a right. I have a right to offend fucking people. It's just fucking speech, and get over it.
Although I saw a video the other day that basically was stating that there was a new law being passed, a new bill, that if you say something that indicates you could in the future say something offensive, you could get in trouble for it.
You go to jail.
It's like thought. If you have a like basically it's like policing your thoughts. If you say something that could in the future be construed as a hate crime, or could inspire one, then you can be held accountable for that. And it's just like what the fuck is happening to the world?
I'm going to jail.
Apparently, but that's okay. We do well in jail.
Fucking I'm sure if I go to the jail with all the other people that are like me, we're gonna have a fucking good old time.
I'd just be laughing the whole time, cutting meth out of each other's asses.
The thought police.
The thought police.
Fuck.
They are there and here and there.
Listen,
Apparently.
if you want to be offended, put on fucking earphones, put on fucking blinders, don't have the internet, don't fucking watch TV, sit in the dark room. Because really, I can find anything to offend me. So fucking what?
There's not much that offends me or that I stand high and say, no, fuck that, that's wrong. That's fucked up. And
there are things that are wrong and fucked up.
Yeah.
It doesn't offend me. A word doesn't offend me.
Are there any words that offend me? I don't think so. There are things that if people say, oh yeah, we did this, I'm like, that fucking irks me.
Pisses you off.
But I mean, everyone, you do what you think is right. You do what you, and here I'll say it. Circumcision, something I don't agree with. I think it's barbaric to take a newborn child and
mutilate them.
I think that's fucked up. I would never do that. And when people say they're going to do it, there was this video I used to show people basically about the history of circumcision and why it was done. And there's all these reasons that people say, but it's for this, it's for cleanliness, and it's for teach your kid to clean their dick. It's not that fucking hard to have a conversation with your son about keeping his fucking penis clean. Just because you don't want to have that conversation doesn't mean it doesn't need to fucking happen. Okay? People used to circumcise people for religious reasons and because they lived in a fucking desert. They didn't have a lot of water. They couldn't wash their dicks. We can. Teach your child to wash their fucking self. It's not that hard.
And that's the part of our health show.
This is a health podcast interview talk show. Our next guest, Dr. Kevorkian.
I
actually wrote a song once that was supposed to help mothers. This is before we had kids. A friend of ours was having a kid, and she was talking about getting the baby circumcised, and I'm like, no, just teach your kid to wash their penis. And I sung a song, and I have a video of it somewhere. But the song goes, wake up in the morning and wash your dick, wash your dick, wash your dick. Wake up in the morning and wash your dick so mommy doesn't have to. That's how the song went. And you sing that to your kid, and then they will learn how to keep their penis clean, and you don't have to.
So did you sing that to your kids?
No, I just teach my kids how to clean themselves when they're in the bath. I teach my son that you need to keep your body clean. Wash your hair, wash your butt, wash under your arms, wash your private area.
So I've been in Dr. Kevorkian's van.
Like
his real van.
In a museum or something?
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was strange.
Didn't Dr. Kevorkian perform? He helped people. He made people kill them. They made people die. I thought he was a guy who, like, when people wanted to die, he would help them.
Well, you know what MAID is right now. MAID assisted. Dying?
Yeah, assisted. Yeah, basically
medical assisted dying.
Medically assisted suicide. Yeah,
that's MAID.
Yeah,
that's basically what he did. People that had illnesses and stuff, they
were just gonna like writhe in pain for 20 years.
Yeah, he'd take them in the van and help them pass on.
Yeah,
basically.
Dr. Sleep.
Pretty much.
That's what Dr. Sleep did.
So
you, Dr. Sleep, were in Dr. Sleep's van.
I was.
Wow, that name just fits more and more.
Can I get you a shot?
Absolutely. I wouldn't say no to a shot.
Okay.
As long as it's actually that stuff last week was pretty good. Collingwood. So, I sent you some discussion questions.
You did?
Did you want to do that, or did you want to do a table read?
I only have the one thing printed off, so I can't do a table read.
Yeah, this is a script that Doug and I are going to do. Is this?
I didn't know you act. No, that's yours.
Well, this is mine.
Not my edited one.
I was like, what did he send me? So I wrote a script for Doug and I to do, and we're actually.
I didn't know how to edit that, so I just kind of.
We'll film it right over there. No, I like what you did. It was interesting because I wrote it. It's in a Word.
Like I didn't
document.
change any of the.
No, you didn't change
words
any
or
dialogue.
anything. I just kind of added.
You added in.
I
Flavor.
added the feelings and
you added in the feelings, the flavor,
drama to it.
You added some more description to it. And the thing is, when I wrote it in a document, right? Because I don't have a script writing program on my phone yet. I mean, I wrote one script for Chris back in the day. It was called Fish Spine, and it was supposed to be the original first version Biscuit and Jet Lag right after the scene in the Jet Lag house, right? It's about those two walking. And I wanted to submit it to Chris as kind of like, hey, I like to write. Here, read this. And so I wrote it in a document, and then I had a program. I don't remember what program it was, but it made it look like an actual script. And I took the time to import everything over. And I never did that again. It was just a lot of fucking work. And unless we were going to actually film off one of my scripts, I wasn't going to do that. So when I write a script, I write it in a document, and you can't see it, but maybe you can see it a little bit. I write it like this, so it doesn't look like an actual script. I mean, it sort of does. You got the beats, each character speaking, exterior shots, all that shit. So when I wrote this and I sent it to Doug, it's not in a script writing program, it's just in a document. So it's not overly descriptive, doesn't have a lot of fun language. It's just, here's the shot, here's the dialogue, boom, 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 boom. And Doug added in all these great words, and before a person speaks, he's kind of putting what their emotion would be, and it was good. It added another layer to it. But yeah, that's why it comes across so dry. It's meant to just, I write it like how if I was going to transfer it into a script program, it's already set up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have to take a lot away and I mean, I'd like to do a storyboard for this. There isn't going to be a ton of complex shots, but the first shot, I wrote that in big description because I thought, you got to catch people's interest in that whole.
Yeah.
It starts with a 180 degree pan, starts here and goes. And then you see a guy running over the camera, and the camera flips over, and the guy's running upside down. And then it cuts to him at a long shot. And it's just that I thought would grab people.
Yeah.
So that they don't click away from the video after 6 seconds. Like they do on our pod show, talk show, a podic show.
Interesting cut in and outs are good.
Yeah.
Like when I was trying to explain to Chris, it was going, we could use, he's like, but, when we were doing Tara, when she was meeting the bandits, but we used two sheds that are in totally different areas.
Yeah.
It took me a while to convince them, no, you can do just her outside of this shed and then do all the inside shots in this shed.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, maybe that'll work. Of course you do. Everything's a different, nothing's.
Well, no,
right?
it never is.
It doesn't matter because nobody's going to see.
No.
They're just going to see what you put on the screen, right?
And it's usually never shot linear, which is fucking confusing the first time you do it. Like, most of the stuff I've ever done was shot linear. But when you're shooting the middle of the story and then you shoot the end and then you go and shoot the beginning, like when I did that student film, it didn't have any sound. Oh, no, it had sound. It didn't have any dialogue. But the first shot we did was like 2 minutes into if it's a 5-minute short, it was 2 minutes in. Right. It's like you're starting at like when the shit hits the fan. And then the next day we did the beginning and the very end. So it's a little confusing.
Yeah, if you watch Unnatural Apocalypse, actually you can see our beards don't
match.
Don't grow to the whole thing. But whatever.
I'm pretty sure no one was complaining in the comments.
No one cut that one.
No. And I mean, again, and sometimes when we're making stuff, people will be focusing on these details. I'm like, No one gives a shit. No one's watching this. And if there are people watching it and picking apart those details, that's a good thing.
Gives them something to talk about.
There's a lot of people watching and they're commenting. Sometimes I say shit that's wrong, or it's the wrong word. Like, you know that time we were talking about Dark Star,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept saying Black Star,
Water.
Blackwater or Dark Water. No, it was Dark Star, Blackwater, and I kept saying Black Star or something like that.
Right.
If we had like 60 listeners who actually watched our shit too, a number of people would have commented about that. Nobody's commenting on here. And if they are, I consider that a rite of passage. When you've got people correcting you, that's a good step. That means that people are actually listening and actually engaging, even if they're saying mean shit. When I did the fucking YouTube fight videos back in the day, anytime I made any tiny fucking mistake, didn't say a name right, oh my God, when I mispronounced the fighter's name, the comments exploded. You fucking idiot. You can't pronounce Del What's wrong with you?
But their comments were just in print, so you didn't know they.
But they didn't have the translate option back then. You know that video I told you about that got like almost 2 million views, and all the people in Indonesia were commenting on it? Somebody commented.
The sword or whatever?
Yeah, the thing with the Minecraft sword. Somebody commented today and said I look like Peter Griffin. I wrote back in gibberish with a bunch of random emojis. So when they hit translate, it won't mean anything, but it looks like I just responded in another language. It's like, oh, I look like Peter Griffin? Fuck you. In a nice way. Tenderly.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what did you ask me, if we wanted to get into the questions or do something else?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I was going to say, do you want to, because I sent you, like, just discussion questions.
Oh, right.
Because sometimes I'll ask you something, and you're like, and it's like, I feel like you need to think about it. And
I do.
Sometimes
I'm old.
No, sometimes I need to think about it, too. Or I'll be talking about something, and it's like, oh, shit. I'm trying to think off I'm shaking the fucking table. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I can't remember. So I thought, why not just come up with some really random. Did you read them?
So this is all fucking set up, so it's all fake.
No, it's not fake. I'm going to read out the questions I sent Doug
read them.
An hour ago.
Let's go.
Are we taking a shot?
Yeah, okay.
Did you bring out these shot glasses just to rub it in my face? That these are the shot glasses we used when you beat me?
These are the double D skulls. Because everybody likes a little head.
I concur.
So peanut butter, I mean.
What the fuck? God damn.
Too much talking about fucking.
Oh, peanut butter and heads.
What's called.
All right.
Circumcision.
Oh shit! I was sending a script to Lisa earlier, and she said she wants to do it.
Oh,
hell yes, we can do that.
Awesome. Speaking of Chris is fucking all over the fucking map. I don't know what the fuck's going on. He's waiting on me for dates to do what? Because he's got fucking 45 different fucking scripts he wants to do, and every other message is about something different.
Yeah.
And he's like, so is that date good for you? What fucking date? For what? And now this has come up, and it's like, what are we doing first? So I told him, you tell me the dates you're looking at, if you need me to act in it or just film up here or whatever, and I'll let you know if I'm available or not. Because and still nothing. Yeah. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out what's going on. I'm confused.
I know. It's sometimes hard. And I'm talking to him about all these projects, and I know he has Brad on board for some stuff. Brad was the guy who played Marcus, the military-looking guy, the sheriff.
Yep.
So he's on board to do one of the scripts that Chris and I wrote together. So we used to call it the sniper skit. We tried filming it at my house, and the sound didn't record. No surprises there. And he had to lay in the snow
the beginning
for 2
of
hours.
the Double D podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. So we were filming this sniper skit, and it's supposed to be a guy looking at two targets. So we had to film ourselves as the two targets, standing around with our guns being idiots. And then he's playing a sniper who's talking to a guy on the radio, but the guy on the radio is like asking for relationship advice. And so it's this awkward thing. He's like in the field trying to get recon information, and the guy's like asking him about his dating life. So Chris played the sniper, and he was just laying in the snow, getting soaked as the snow melted underneath him. And I'm standing there. I've got the boom mic, the camera, and my phone with the script on it, feeding him the lines. I'm holding like 3 friggin' devices, and we're in the snow, so we couldn't like really set the tripod up. And then the sound didn't even fucking work. So that's the sniper skit, which is now called Mom Butts. And Brad is apparently going to play the sniper, and I'm going to do the voiceover again. He needs you for the psycho cab driver and then some other thing, the shed one.
Yeah, he wants me to be a serial killer because that's the only things I can do that.
Hey, I write you as a bounty hunter who likes to shoot people instead of shoot people because they aren't worth as much alive. I took that right from what you said. Because I originally had in the script that I shoot him. But then you and I were talking about it, and you're like, "How then I fucking shoot him because I'm not paying more for him alive." And I was like, "Oh, I like that." So
all I need him to just say is, "I want to do this at this date. I need you to play this guy here, or we're doing this here. We're filming here, and Barry, we're filming here, and Barry beating on this date. We're doing. We want to film at your place on this date. Is that okay? Like, fuck, just
well." The hope is that we'll get all that figured out.
tell him.
And it sounds like nothing's happening until April, which March has just started. I'm off all fucking week. I would have loved.
You're off this week?
Yes, it's March break.
This week?
Yeah, I didn't work today.
Oh,
I was with my kids all day.
See, I'm in Philly. I'm gone next week. I'm in the States.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. That's why I would have loved to have done something this week. And I mean,
it's supposed to be nice weather the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But he can't do anything. Like, he seems to get called to work at night now or something.
I don't fucking know. I mean,
like we were supposed to go over there the other Monday, and then he, I guess, went to work. But then it was like us old guys couldn't go down to Barry.
Well, no, the other Monday, one of them, there was that huge fucking snowstorm.
Well, that was way back.
That was way back. That was when we were supposed to meet and like kind of have a sit down and talk about what to do next.
I'm going to get called to work.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Apparently, nothing's getting filmed till April. Emma's looking into casting the things that don't get fit. One of the ones I want to do, Tomahawk.
Yeah.
All you need is
Tomahawk.
Not Bone Tomahawk, just Tomahawk. I need Chris in my car, the sound equipment, and then me and Lisa would play the two characters. And it's a quick. I sent that one to you.
Yeah, that's the one. The Road Rage.
The Road Rage one. And I sent it. I thought I sent it to Lisa because I thought she'd be perfect to play the part. And I was talking to her about it tonight because she was talking to me about The Last Can. That's another one that she was interested in doing. So she wants to do that, and she's willing to come to Barrie to do it, as at least as a hopping off point to go wherever it's going to get filmed. But then I mentioned Tomahawk, and she was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "I never sent you that." She's like, "No." So
long fucking time ago.
I sent it to you a long time ago because I wrote it a long time ago.
Yeah.
I wrote it for the pitch episode on the Double D podcast back when it was still a podcast.
Okay.
Remember when it was still a podcast?
Not a talk show on Elf.
Yeah, that was one of my pitches, the elevator pitches. I hadn't written it, but I had the whole concept down. And yeah, so I sent it to her tonight, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that." So we can use my freaking minivan, and Chris in the back bucket seat filming us.
It's the ghost. Hey, the ghost.
It's okay. I'm just talking
about Bone Tomahawk. I know
it's not about Bone Tomahawk. It's about just plain Tomahawk. Of course, I could always call it Maverick. It has to be named after a missile. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Heat seeker.
We're good. Well, I'm good. How are you doing? Are you getting tired of this?
No. I don't mind.
Every now and then.
I keep trying to convince her to fucking come on.
Well, now we've had Emily twice. We've had Nat. You're the only one that's missing. You've technically been on it 6 times. I'm not telling you that. I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just saying you'd always be welcome. We always love having you as the ghost, and we'd love to have you present. You could dress as a ghost if you wanted, like dress like an old, old timey lady, like one of the, like the milkmaid types with the thing, and you could be churning butter.
Milkmaid.
Fuck, I'm trying to think of the time. The time
Like
period.
Ponderosa, not Ponderosa, Pioneer.
Pioneer or is it that term? Renaissance? I don't know.
No.
Like the ghost that haunts this home, and you could play the character.
Okay.
We could ask you questions about how things were back in the day.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
There you go. I think I sold it. Or just
Keep that in mind. It means
that means no.
you
know her.
She
You
just
know her.
brushed you up, bud.
No, I did not.
Just because I know she'll never say yes doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying.
It's in the French.
I gotta go check. You rest your heels, young man.
All right. So, what are we doing?
This has been in here for a while. I think.
Summersby.
Yeah, I think we need a bit of sweetness.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna do.
she won't come on the podcast. She just wants to remain the ghost.
I'm gonna do you a solid though. I'm gonna rinse these. We don't want to mix beer and Summersby. That's just fucking weird.
So, mango lime, made in Canada. Okay.
It's my mother-in-law's. I stole it from the fridge downstairs.
So Saturday I went to 60th birthday party and had a few shots of fucking tequila.
How'd that go?
Not a few too many shots of tequila.
Yeah, I feel like I messaged you about something. You were talking about being drunk.
Well, before I went, I was saying that I'm off to go or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chris is like, "Oh, I fucking drunk again" or something. Fucking guy. Can't wait to
Not
take
always
this
drunk.
podcast off the ground so I can send him emails.
From Horatio Cornblower. There you go. There you go, bud. He said they recorded an episode, but I haven't seen anything yet. So
Right. He wanted to get a whole bunch done before he releases any.
yeah, something like that. So that you have like 20 in the chamber, and you can just release them as they go. Fuck, when I was over there, I thought about yeah, there's a couple of things. I'll put that in the back.
I like that.
It's nice, right? It's crisp. It's refreshing.
So I drank a whole bunch of MGDs, and then of course the kids were buying a bunch of tequila shots.
And
They
they were
were
like,
buying
"Hey."
us Patron, which is really fucking smooth. And you know what? The Saturday we got home we probably left at around 1 or something, 12:31,
Yeah.
and it was daylight savings.
Oh, fuck.
Denise had to go to work for 10. I wasn't hungover though, but I was kind of like tired, exhausted for the day.
Yeah.
Just kind of dragging my ass a little bit, but I didn't feel hungover or anything like that
And do you know why you didn't feel hungover?
because it was the tequila.
Because we train. Because
sure.
on the Double D talk show,
I'm sure
we
if it was
train.
only beer, I would have been fucking perfect.
Probably, yeah. But hey, that's good. I mean, because the last thing you want is one of those 2-day hangovers where you can't do.
No, I couldn't
anything.
do that. I can't do that.
No, that's fuck. No, not even
I'm
on March
lucky
break.
you
I don't
didn't
want
get
to do that. I was okay after what did we do? 3 beers and a shot the other day. We don't usually do that much, but those were small beers. I mean, really.
Well, the regular size cans.
Yeah, they're regular size. Yeah, we were okay. So I'm gonna ask.
Questions.
Yeah, and so all this was, I was sitting there just coming up with really random shit, ranging from the chuckleable to the downright, what the fuck? I thought, what's the most fucked up thing I can ask? But that's not how it started. So discussion questions. First one. Starts out wholesome.
Wholesome.
What's something you had for dinner a lot as a kid that you don't eat much anymore?
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. Like TV dinners. Like fuck. I can't even think of what I fucking used to eat for dinner.
Like Hungry Man dinners?
Yeah. Like the little chicken ones with the brownie.
I didn't eat I mean, we had some of those. I feel like my mom was like, looked down on that shit so hard. Like,
Wow.
yes, we had the fish and chips and the chicken fingers, and we had all that shit. But like the TV dinners, the way she talked about those was like, that's what poor people eat. So we're not eating that.
So we did.
Now, the thing, and the reason I asked that is because I was walking up the stairs, and we'd done a Costco shop, and I had one of the big chicken pot pies from Costco. You ever had one of those?
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I ate a lot of meat pies as a kid. It's something my dad made a lot. You know, you buy the box of the meat pies. They had the little foil thing. You put them in the oven, cook them up with some French fries and vegetables.
Yes, some beef gravy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, some people eat them right side up. Some people
turn them upside
down and eat the ass.
That's one thing I haven't had in a while.
Yeah. And I thought, I ate those a lot as a kid. I don't eat them anymore, but I do eat those chicken pot pies from Costco, which is basically a giant meat pie. Yeah. But it got me nostalgic thinking about that. And I was like, I'm going to ask Doug if there's anything kind of like those meat pies.
We used to get Scottish meat pies. They were good. From the Scottish place in Scarborough.
There's a bakery, and they do these homemade meat pies, and Nat and I got those a couple times. They were fucking good.
They were good.
Really good.
Yeah.
But nostalgic. Now let's get fucked up. What parenting skill did you use that you wish your parents had used for you?
Parenting skill?
Yeah, you know, like there's different methods of parenting.
I didn't have very good parenting skills. My family's fucked up. My kids are a fucking mess. Our whole family's fucked up. So I didn't really have good parenting skills. So probably like corporal punishment or whatever.
Not using that.
But using that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there.
A little more of the fucking strap. I don't know.
See, here's the thing.
No, my kids are fucking great.
They seem great. They love their dad.
They totally lied.
What do you mean they lied?
I lied.
You lied that they're great?
I just lied that they weren't great. I just said that my family's fucked up and horrible.
No,
You're not listening to me. Rewind. Yeah, I don't know. I have no parenting skills because my family's fucked up. That's what I said.
Your brother, I remember you saying something about a brother that you were channeling a brother when you threatened to kill me. That's Pugsley. You were like,
channeling a brother.
You were channeling the mindset of either your brother, your cousin, or your uncle. You said, I asked you that day, I'm like, did I actually make you mad that day? When you said you were going to hunt me through the woods, and you said, I got my own guns. And you were like, no, that wasn't me. That was me kind of putting on a character of somebody I know would say something like that. And I don't know if it was an older brother or an uncle or a cousin or something.
I have 3 older brothers. My oldest is 11 years older than me. And then the other 2, and then I'm kind of the youngest. But they kind of, not my oldest, because he was kind of out of the house when I was, fucking 8 or 9 off to university. Yeah. But the other 2 fucking tormented me and shit. But
that's what they do, those fuckers.
My mom and dad worked all the time, so they weren't home a lot. I don't know. I don't know who I was channeling. Yeah. I wish I remember that conversation. But I'm old.
I'm thinking there's a lot of
things now.
I'm not saying it. Okay, first of all, asshole who emailed in defense of this fucking guy, I haven't made a single age joke. He keeps making them.
Fuck, because I know they're on the tip of your tongue.
Don't thought police. Fuck that shit. I do not consent.
Yeah, so I don't know. My parents were, by the time it got to me, it was pretty loose.
And usually that's how it happens.
My other brothers already fucking pushed all the boundaries and everything, and
got smacked for it.
I was pretty much, you know.
Parents beat the older siblings, then decide not to beat the younger ones. The older ones get mad, so make sure that the younger one gets beaten way worse than they ever did.
Well, see, so the party we went to, this guy's 60th, we met him through our kids' friends.
Okay.
So there's a few parents there that are our age, but we all know each other through Mitchell and all his friends because they invite us to all the parties and Boots and Hearts. We party with them and hang out with them, and it's not. I never partied with my parents. My parents went to a party, and you'd be in this room, and they'd be with their friends, and it was always different,
there was the kids in the basement watching a movie.
But with this group, it's everybody's just kind of everybody. It's weird. It's like, I'm going on this trip next week with the 2 of my boys. We go to Boots and Hearts with our friends. We have tons of parties together and all our friends. There's no, your parents are here type of shit. I don't know. right?
love
So it's a good relationship. I think it's one good thing about having kids young, because we're still fairly young to, now they're in their, Garrett's in his late 20s and the other two are in their mid 30s. And, they're at that age, you can still do things with them. You're young enough, right?
That's something I really look forward to. I mean, I love this age, but I really hope I have that relationship with my sons. Like what you, I will admit this. There's times I hear the relationship you have with your boys, and it's like, it's not jealousy, but it's like, I want that. I hope I get that too, And I mean, there's no way to know what kind of relationship I have with my kids, because I don't know what life's going to hold in the next 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'd like to have that relationship with my sons, that when I'm older, I'm not, this is fucking terrible to say, that I don't have the relationship with my kids that I had with my parents. Because, like, me and my dad did a lot of stuff together, but it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like what you're describing, like, we didn't find our stride until much later in his life. We bonded over books the way we hadn't bonded over anything before. And me and my mom have never really bonded over anything. Like, we'll go to the movies together once in a while. Like, I'm taking her to see part 2 of Dune, because I took her to see part 1 because that was something my dad loved. So it's like we are bonding over something that was about my dad. So I don't have that relationship with my mom, and I kind of wish I did. I have more of that relationship with my father-in-law than I ever did with my dad, which is fucking sad. And it's just that we were very different, and I wish we had that. And I hope I have that with my kids, and I'll do everything I fucking can to not fake it, not to cave to them to be like, hey, can I come too? But yeah, that's the most important thing to me. I want to have a good relationship with my kids growing up, but I also don't want to sacrifice their development to make that relationship too important.
I don't know if there's any little secrets. Maybe just got lucky. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's nothing special.
I think the secret is
you just got to treat them as human beings and know when, they get old enough that, they're going to have decisions to make, and you try to give them advice and support the decision they make, and, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's a really fucking heavy.
Either that or just get a wife that fucking knows everything, and then you just stand behind her.
You can't find women like Denise anymore. They don't make.
Well, see, I was a black sheep of the family, and I was going to hell on a handbasket and everything, and then
that's why she went.
And then Denise came around, and my parents were like, "Yay!"
Cleaned you up, cut your hair, get a haircut, and get a real job.
What color your kid's gonna be?
Good Lord. The ghost came and saved your life. All right, let's get away from that. I'm going to start crying if we keep talking about that.
Well, that was your question.
I know. I was trying to create a spectrum, and it gets
a specter.
A specter.
Is that like a ghost?
No, we have the specter. I was creating a spectrum. I wanted each question to be like nothing to do with the previous question. Here's a good one for you.
So far, so good.
Should there be any more changes to the national anthem, or should it be reverted back?
Yes, we should change the national anthem. It should be changed to Lola by the Kinks. Walk like a woman and talk like a man, oh my Lola.
Yeah.
Heck, that's society now, right?
Pretty much.
Change the national anthem to Lola.
I've heard, and tell me, so the change that they made, the one that I'm referring to, is the All Thy Sons command line. Oh. They changed that to All of Us command.
Okay.
Now, you probably don't hear it as much as I do. I hear it every day, right? And when they play the old versions of the song, you still get the old lyric. But when they play the new versions of the song, you get that.
But they did. It's one of those things. They changed the words because they assumed it meant something. But when what it was really about, they have no idea it was really about something else.
No.
But they change it because
it seems
like sounds. It sounds more appropriate or something.
And it sounds more inclusive.
Even though they don't really understand what the real instead of finding out what the real fucking words meant, they did it for a political stunt to say, "Look at me, I'm making life better." It's like changing the name of Dundas. He wanted slaves. No, he tried to end the slave fucking thing. He was a abolitionist,
Yeah.
right? But because he made a deal with them to keep slaves for a certain time instead of ending it right away, because he knew if he tried to end it right away, it would never pass. So he said, "Okay, well, we'll phase it over the next 10 years." So he actually was very instrumental in stopping the slaves over in Europe.
Yeah.
But people, he extended it for 10 years. Now they want to remove the name Dundas off the fucking streets in Toronto. What? That doesn't fucking make any sense.
Again,
They got a
pandering.
fucking ass backwards.
Well, that's again, they're pandering to the loud voice.
So they're going to spend billions to change all that. Meanwhile, the fucking people that are going to food banks and living in tents.
Yep.
Priorities.
Priorities. So no more changes then?
Change it to Lola.
Why not just change it to something by
And
Nickelback?
Lola, and instead of our theme song at the end of this one, it's going to be Lola.
You should do that. Might be
Actually,
some
I
copyright
probably can't.
problem.
Unless I have somebody else sing it.
You could sing it. Or Spectre, do you want to sing it? I would, but I don't really know the lyrics well enough to sing it.
You know the song, what it's about.
Generally, I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I heard it.
It's about a transvestite. The young lad goes out and he meets Lola and oh my Lola.
It's like Sleepaway Camp, kind of. Ace Ventura. All those things. Do you know that Bert didn't make a single trans joke? Bert made jokes. Bert made pedophile jokes, racist jokes, sexist jokes, jokes about people who are disabled physically, mentally, and spiritually. Not one trans joke the whole night.
Who was that?
Bert Kreischer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I went and saw Bert.
Yes, he was good.
Oh, he was very funny. Very, very funny. And he did that. I can't repeat a lot of it. Actually, I probably could, but I don't want to spend our talk show talking about Bert's jokes.
Just so you get a drift of
Lola?
our new national anthem.
All right, I'm gonna listen.
I met her in a club down in Old Soho where you drink champagne and it tastes just like Coca-Cola, Cola cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her name in a dark brown voice. She said Lola, 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 blah, blah. Well, I'm not the world's most physical guy, but when she squeezed me tight, she nearly broke my spine and my Lola. Well, I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why she walks like a woman and talks like a man. Oh, my Lola. Well, we drank champagne and danced all night under electric candlelight. She picked me up and sat me on her knee. She said, "Little boy, won't you come home with me?" Well, I'm not the world's most passionate guy, but when I looked in her eyes, well, I almost fell for my Lola. Lola, Lola, Lola. I pushed her away and I walked to the door. I fell to the floor. I got down on my knees. Well, I looked at her and she at me. Well, that's the way that I wanted it to stay, and I always wanted to be that way for my Lola. Girls will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world except for Lola. Well, I'd left home just a week before, and I'd never, ever kissed a woman before. Lola smiled and took me by the hand. She said, "Little boy, gonna make you a man." Well, I'm not the world's most masculine man, but I know what I am, and I'm glad I'm a man, and so is Lola. The Kinks. Very popular song when I was a kid.
All I keep
But
hearing.
apparently we're all transphobes and homophobes and everything.
All
But
I
that
keep-
was a song we used to sing and party to.
See, I grew up with Yoda.
Yoda.
Weird Al Yankovic did a parody of
Did
that
it? Okay.
called Yoda.
So anyway, so
Oh,
that's our new
from
national
the swamps
anthem.
of Dagobah, walks with a stick.
I have not heard
Oh,
that
my
one.
Yoda.
I gotta listen to that.
Yo, 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 Yoda. So yeah, I grew up with that beat,
Yeah.
but not that song.
So that's our new national anthem. That's what I think.
All I was going to say is, if you're going to take out all thy son's command, take out God, keep our land. Because not everybody in Canada is Catholic or believes in God.
Or religious.
You're pushing out all the atheists and anti-theists and anyone who doesn't believe in God. You're now forcing them to acknowledge something that they might not believe in by singing about the country they love. That's not fair. That should be changed. To please keep our land glorious and free. And don't even get me started on our home and native land. There was a singer who said our home on native land, and I thought, if you're going to make a change, maybe change that before thy sons.
You know what? Fuck off.
Why not just say "Oh Canada" over and over again? And as the song goes on, it gets more and more intense and gets more, dirty.
Lola. Okay, next.
Lola, next question. Alone and alive. Next question. What show / movie do you want to watch, but you can't commit to the time required to do so?
Geez, I don't know really what something that's new that's out.
You look at it and you think, I want to watch that, or I would like to watch that, but Jesus Christ, it's 22 seasons, or God, it's 3.5 hours. This movie,
yeah. So the ghost over there, she can't watch, like, if we're watching a series, she can't watch one and then wait a week and watch the next episode and wait a week. She has to watch fucking 3-4 episodes a night.
She's a binger
till it's done. Right?
She is the shows the way you are with booze. You're a binger.
So, I mean, the last show that we didn't watch for a long time because it was so long was fucking the Lord of the North and
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
You waited till the whole show was out and then watched it, right? You finished
years. It was years after it was done.
But that's a show you were willing to put the time in on. Is there a show
because
you'd like to watch?
Because it was COVID and we're home all the time.
Yeah.
It was winter time. You don't hang outside much, and so we powered through it. But is there a show now that no, I can't really think of something that's on now. I have no idea. Although I do really like those Netflix 6-8 season shows. They're only 8 seasons long and the story's over.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting into season 9 really started to drop off.
Because the thing that's really pissing me off is you'll watch a season and it'll be like fucking 2 or 3 years before the next season comes out. I've already forgotten about the show.
That's why they do a recap.
It's over. Fucking recap.
Although I had that with Upload.
I've moved on from that life. Something else is interesting me now.
You need the same show scheduled at the same time the next year for the same amount of time.
No, I need all seasons right now and then.
You're a binge.
Like you. We're watching you.
You were watching me?
Yeah.
Sick fuck. I knew those cameras weren't mine.
Peep and Tom's.
Peep and Tom.
Tomettes. You don't know that? You know you on Netflix?
I think so.
It's about a serial killer.
Oh, the guy that's still in. Yeah. It was like that. It's amazing how many shows are based on bad people.
Oh, we're frozen there.
Oh, it's because you started talking about you.
Anyways, there's supposed to be one more season, but it's like taking forever. So by the time it comes out, I'll be over.
You won't be over. You got lots of years left in you.
No, I'll be alive, but I'll be.
You'll be over it.
That.
You'll be past it. I get you.
Or Wednesday.
Wednesday, the show? You're waiting for that?
You've only had one season.
Yeah, because it just came out.
Okay,
it's probably been greenlit for 2 more seasons.
Over a year now.
You don't want them to rush it.
Yeah, I do. I want to see it. Because by the time it comes out, I'll be worried about something else. I'll be worried about watching Joe Rogan.
It'll be a nice
spear an elk off a tree.
You never know when another talk show is going to come along and take your interest. It happens. My short answer was going to be Mad Men and Oppenheimer.
Oh,
I'd like to watch Mad Men, but it's like
it's great.
I'm sure it's great. It's just there's like so much to watch.
I don't like movies that are over 2 hours long.
I love long movies, but I know Oppenheimer's going to be brilliant. brilliant cinema and great storytelling, but a 3.5 hour movie when I get like an hour and a half of conscious time after my kids go to bed, it's going to take me 3 days to watch that movie.
I was Oppenheimer. I thought, I can barely remember what I watched.
I went to bed
I thought,
halfway through.
yeah, and I thought that it could have been shortened. And
I was like, yeah, no, fuck this.
It was all right.
She stayed up and watched the whole thing. I was like, I'm done.
I feel like that's a movie I'd like to watch on a plane. You know, when you're on an airplane and it's like, okay, I got a 6-hour flight. I'm going to watch Oppenheimer and Barbie back to back, just like all the other people. There's an interesting story behind that, and I can't remember all the details of it. But Barbie, oh shit, we're frozen again. No, there we go. There was some issue between, I think, Cillian Murphy and the guy, whoever directed Barbie, and they were trying to fuck. Someone was trying to fuck Christopher Nolan over. Somebody was trying to fuck with somebody, and so they put them on the same release date, and then ending this. So I went and saw them both on the same day. So it was like they tried to do something and it backfired and ended up making both movies more popular. So, yeah.
Marketing.
Could be marketing. That's one I had the other day. If men could trade dick inches for height inches and vice versa, how different would the world look?
There'd be a whole lot of fucking midgets. Nobody could reach the peanut butter on the top shelf.
Just be a lot of short guys walking funny.
Oh, sorry.
A lot of short guys with backpacks.
Is that the technically correct word now? Short guys? Not midgets? No, midgets are midgets.
Are height challenged.
People that are height challenged.
But are they height challenged? They're just they're born that way. It's not a challenge. Well, it is a challenge, I guess.
Try being fucking as tall as I am and then walking in small basements and shit and you're smashing your head off everything.
You ever been in a castle?
Castle Noma.
Like a real castle? I've been in castles in like Scotland and Ireland.
No.
And the doorways.
Wait, we're listening to something over there.
No, I'm going. See ya.
They're like 5 foot. For people who are 5'4", 5'6", people were just fucking tiny back then. They're all Tyrion Lannisters.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know. I've seen. I don't know what we're going to call them to try to be less offensive. Dwarves, midgets. I would never.
Well,
I think a midget.
Midget
is a term.
a technical term.
Midget is a term I don't think that they like. Dwarf, I don't think they have a problem with. But white Karens would be like, "Oh, that's a fuck off." I've heard dwarves on television refer to themselves as dwarves. It's not derogatory. So if a dwarf refers to himself as a dwarf, then and they say that's okay, fine. Fuck off, Karen.
So you know what? I got two friends that I know. Sorry to cut you off. I'm cutting you off.
That's okay.
And they're both one guy I know from high school, and one guy I met. He was a trainer when I coached the Rama team and stuff.
Okay.
And they're both midgets or dwarves or short people or whatever. I don't know what they call themselves.
You know them both, and they've never discussed with you how they want to be called?
No, I've never. Why would I bring it up with them? Why would I call them by their names?
Okay, but they've never said, "Oh, this fucking person. I went shopping and they called me this."
Here, I was going to say the one guy. I've seen him take offense at some jokes. Like there was a couple of comedians that would come out and they'd pretend they were short people and they'd come out on their knees.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
And they'd be like, "This is why are you laughing at short? Because this is kind of offensive to him."
Yeah.
Okay. But the other guy, he kind of makes jokes about short people about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like not saying one's right or one's wrong, but
And again, it's different. It's different for everybody.
But I call them by their names.
Yeah,
because that's they're just people.
And again, that's
right?
that's how you do it. There was a clip I saw on what's his name? What's that guy? The British guy. He does all the shows. He's the guy who ate meat while interviewing the vegetarian. Pierce.
Yeah.
What the hell's his name? I think it's Pierce. Anyway, he was talking to a guy
Pierce Morgan.
And there was they were talking about Snow White, the new one coming out, and he was raging about the fact that that's one of the few properties where dwarf actors could get the roles playing those characters, and they thought it was offensive, or somebody somewhere said it would be offensive to get dwarves to play those characters. And there was an actual dwarf on the show talking about this, and then there was some white fucking liberal going on and on talking about stuff, and the dwarf guy's like that, like, don't fucking speak for me. Like, don't tell me what I would find offensive or what my like people like me would find offensive. I'm fucking telling you right now, and you're not even listening to me. You're speaking for me and not listening to what I'm saying. So I'm not 100% sure what term they want used, but growing up, I've heard a number of different ones, but basically, I don't even know how the fuck we got on this topic. Oh, dicks. Dicks and height.
Well, so that reminds me of, like, mirror, mirror. This guy brought home this magical mirror and said to his wife, it's the wife, or the wife bought this magical mirror at a garage sale and bring it home. Right? And the husband's like, what the fuck are you doing with this fucking mirror? Oh, it's magical smell. Yeah, sure, it's magical. She goes, yeah. Hanging on the back of the door in the bedroom. He goes, that's not fucking magic. She goes, oh yeah, you watch. She goes into the fucking bedroom, shuts the door, looks in the mirror and goes, mirror, mirror on the door, make my breasts size 44. And double D's come out.
Nice.
So she comes out, she goes, look, it worked. He's like, holy shit. And he runs in there, he gets him, shuts the door, and he gets in front of the mirror, he goes, mirror, mirror on the door, make my pecker touch the floor. And his legs fell off.
It's all in the wording. It's all in the damn wording.
It is. So there.
But yeah, there'd be a lot of short people with big dicks.
Dragging in the dirt. Then they'd have to learn how to clean their fucking scrotum. Not their scrotum, their thing there.
Their foreskin.
Yes. The bubble gum.
Clean it. Clean your dick. Wake up in the morning. Wash
Especially
your
when-
dick. All right, next question. We're going from dick
I had the
inches
worst.
and height inches to did mankind land on the moon?
Of course.
Yes?
Not.
Probably not.
You don't fucking know.
I want to believe.
Listen.
I'm Mulder in this situation. I want to believe that they did. I don't think they did.
Why not?
Because the technology, there was so much on the line about getting there first.
Mm-hmm.
And the technology and how much more we know about space now, the dangers, the amount of radiation that comes from the sun when you get out of like the stratosphere and all the levels, like past where Mir is, and there's no protection. You're just in the fucking dead of space between Earth and the moon. There's so much more we know now that when you look at some of the numbers and the facts and the dangers, and then you look at those astronauts that apparently went, orbited the moon, came back all those times, landed on the moon, drove the rover on the moon, you start to ask yourself, like, fuck, did they actually do it? But then I remember listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to Joe Rogan about it. And he said there was some guy who wanted proof. So Neil deGrasse Tyson found all the pictures, all the records, and he showed it to the guy. And the guy said, well, those could be fake. And he's like, that's the proof. You can say that anything's fake about anything at any time if you want to play the devil's advocate. But you asked me for proof. I'm showing you high-definition pictures of the tire tracks made by the rovers when they drove in that area where they landed. And he had all this other scientific proof, but all the guy said is, well, that could be fake. That could be forgery. Well, then I can't prove it to you, bud. You need to fucking fly up there yourself. And so it comes down to belief.
Neil Armstrong was on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Apparently. So I saw him on a talk show, and he was going, I can't remember who the talk show was. And the guy's like, he goes, So do you remember, watching it on TV when, we landed on the moon, stepped down on the moon? Well, yeah. He goes, no, you didn't. We didn't fucking have cameras there. Who was outside with the camera taking the picture of the guy walking down the stairs and putting his first foot on the fucking moon? Because he obviously went out there with a TV camera that in the 60s shot the fucking camera back to the fucking so we could watch it live. We can't even watch shit live, right? How the fuck that happened? He says you might have listened to it on the radio.
The only thing I can think to justify that, again, playing devil's advocate for the fun of it, is that they had some other piece of equipment landed that was recording it. But even then, it's just those simple things when you start asking questions,
right?
But
why haven't we been back?
I think the justification they've given is that there isn't enough interest to justify the expense. Meanwhile, they expend so much fucking money on so much other stuff. They've landed on the Mars like 9 times now. How many fucking rovers are there? A bunch. One of the more recent ones, there's a giant fucking rover that had a drone on it. Go around and collect samples and shit. Telling me we can't land some fucking people on the moon just to satisfy curiosity? Mr. Beast better get on this shit. That's all I'm saying. Beast and Elon better go up there. Because why the fuck not? The guy's got so much money.
Elon's more interested in going to Mars.
Yeah, but I'm saying you get Mr. Beast and Elon working on a fucking to send somebody to the moon to do like Alone, an episode of Alone, but they're on the moon.
Oh fuck!
How about that? Anyway, I think the next one's the last one. Oh, this one actually. Oh, I fucked up. Remember I said nothing should have anything to do with the other? This one kind of does. But I was talking to Nat about this, and this is really fucked up. But I'd had this conversation, and I thought, no one really knows, but there's a way we can find out. So here's the question. Should prisoners on death row be flushed into space to study the effect of decompression on live humans?
Well, I think we know what happens when people get decompressed with that fucking sub that went down to the Titanic not too long ago.
Yeah, but that's implosion. That's what happens when a can has a
decompressed.
It literally, they didn't know what happened. They wouldn't even know that they were dying.
Well,
somebody somewhere was like,
the Canadian Coast Guard heard before fucking they started finding wreckage.
Well, there could have been that they lost power.
It partially fucking went before it fully went.
They lost power, and they were probably banging on the hull. That might be why it imploded, because they were banging and fucking around on it. But basically, the science says that implosion would have taken a millisecond.
Yeah.
And there'd be no, just blood. They'd be completely liquefied. There'd be nothing. The fish would eat the evidence. Nothing to bury, just some scrap. So the question is, if you've got somebody on death row and they're going to be killed in some boring way, like injection or hanging or forced to listen to Taylor Swift, all the ways that a person can die, why not say to them, hey, we're trying to do something for science. We want to see what happens to a human being when they're flushed out into the vacuum of space. And we're going to record it with GoPros all over your body and medical electrodes and see all the things that happen. Just capture the magic. For science. For science.
Fuck yeah. Send them out there and send them out there right away. Not a year after.
I'm not saying you just say to the person, fuck you, we're flushing you into space. Just offer them the option. Say, hey, if you're willing to do this for science.
No, they're on death row. Fuck off.
No. If they're willing to do it for science, you're like, you get to go to space. You get to be an astronaut. Your name goes in a history book. You haven't done anything else positive with your life. Do something for science. And then your body will be studied. And you'll have a paragraph in a textbook and we'll pay you $9 for the commissary.
There you
go. And that's my plan. Do you want to hear some fun news?
Yes.
Did you have something?
No, go.
I joined an axe throwing league.
What? Where?
Barrie.
Where's the extra in Barrie?
Bullseye.
Okay, where's that?
I don't know. You can Google it.
How are you gonna get there?
I drive there.
You don't. Okay. South end, north end.
Hold on. Let me find out.
Fuck. So what is it? So it's like darts every fucking. You go every Wednesday.
Yep.
There's a bunch of coyotes out back.
I could throw some axes at
Bunch
those
of coyotes out back.
Oh shit! Is that right now?
Yep.
That looks like the wolf picture from the other day.
It's not. No, there's 3 of them here. The other one only had 2.
Oh, the other 4 are hiding, looking for some ass. So it's. Where are you? What street is this? So it's off Veterans in Barrie. It's not on Veterans, but it's near Veterans. So basically, me and a couple of my buddies from high school. Originally, my one buddy asked me, he's like, "Hey, you want to join an axe throw?"
What's it called?
Bullseye. He's like, "You want to join an axe throwing league?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do. I've always wanted to do shit like that. It's just, you feel lame doing it by yourself or with your, like me and Matt did archery once, and it was fun. But yeah, it's like him and I don't get to hang out that much because it's hard with the kids. So it's like, if it's the same time every week and you set up the time and you've got everything in place, perfect. So me, him, and another one of my friends from high school. I've known these guys like most of my life. The one guy I've known since kindergarten, the other one since grade 3. And we got together. We did our first thing last Wednesday, and then we're going again this Wednesday. And it was crazy because we're sitting there, we're having a drink, and we're waiting for each of us was going at different times. And we got to talking and realized the last time the 3 of us had done anything, just the 3 of us, no wives, no kids, no other friends from high school.
Just the 3 of us?
Just the 3 of us was 13 years ago.
Wow.
We went and saw the Wu-Tang Clan in Ottawa. And we stayed in a dorm. It was fucking awesome. Just hanging out. Only one of us had kids back then. And she was like just a baby. She was only like about a year old.
Right.
So, yeah, it was cool. And I had a lot of fun. Loved doing that shit. So, yeah, I got my axe throw on. And there's some people there that you could tell they do this shit. They have their own axes. They've designed and decaled. Everyone's got their axe and it's sheathed. And then they come and I was using the shitty axe on the racks kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I go against my first guy because we did 4 rounds, right? And the way they did it is you scored points, and then they took the points and they figure out where you're going to be in the cages, right? All your highest scorers are going to be over here in cage 1, then the next set of 8 in cage 2, so that everybody's kind of competing with people about as good as they are. So I go against my first guy, whose name is Hawkeye. That's his nickname. He's got his own axe.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, shit. So I compete against this guy, and I beat him.
Nice.
And all I could think is, this guy's got to be so fucking mad. Because this is only my 4th time doing it.
Yeah, and you're just using the fucking rack.
I'm using the rack axe,
Yeah.
right? So I either look like a cheap bastard or I look like a shark.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, man, they probably think I'm the shark. Because I got some lucky shots in. At one point, I got 3 bullseyes in a row, and I thought, holy fuck, what's happening? And then the second round, I'm against another guy, and I can't remember his name, but he had a nickname, and he had his own axe. And we go against each other, and he beats my ass the first round, and then I killed him the second and third. And I'm thinking, wow, they definitely think I'm a shark. And then for the 3rd and 4th round, I got my fucking ass kicked.
So they were sharking
So
you,
bad. The one guy was like 6'5", 350 pounds. It was just fucking massive human being. And he kicked my ass. He got 4 bullseyes in a row. And I'm like, I can't fucking beat this guy on my best day. And then the other one was this is a way older guy. Looked like an old trucker. Yeah, he kicked my ass too. So the 3 of us, we had our different cages, but we all ended up about 4 points away from each other.
Huh.
So there's a really good chance we'll either be in the same cage or at least next to each other. So yeah, it was fun. A good recreational thing, kind of,
Yeah.
get something to break the week up.
Cool.
Yeah. So I got the Double D podcast on Mondays and axe throwing Wednesdays. Gets me out of the house so that I don't rot on the fucking couch drowning in the smell of swamp ass.
We went axe throwing once.
What'd you think?
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It is fun. It's good.
It's different.
And I mean, I love any kind of target hitting, like shooting it, throwing knives at it, hitting it with a bow, you know, getting hunted through the hills of Moonstone. It's all good.
Channeling whoever.
Yeah, channeling somebody. You don't remember saying that?
Mm.
God, I wonder what episode that was, because we were talking about it, and then I wanted to ask you.
I said it on this talk show.
You did. You said it on the talk show. I was genuinely curious about whether or not I made you mad.
I remember you asking me that. Yeah.
And I said, like, you know, like, here's what you said, and the way you said it, I was like, oh fuck, I think I might have made him mad. And when I think back to it, I'm like, I never really have heard you that intense since then. So I'm like, maybe that was the one time I actually made you mad. And you said, no, that was me. I was kind of channeling somebody. And
just
you
for content.
Yeah, okay. So I guess you said it for content. Blame it on the content.
It's all a show.
Works for me. But yeah.
All right.
Something to look forward to.
Cool.
Wednesdays.
Axe throwing.
Extra one.
It's like we used to go bowling.
I fucking used to love going bowling. Me and my buddies.
Bowling. We'd go out to the rink, and you know your buddy was the rink rat that ran the Zamboni, and after the last paid people would go, we'd go out there and play hockey frickin' till 12 or 1 until we got all tired, and then we left, and we'd go to the bowling alley because it was half price after 12 or 1 o'clock, and we'd bowl for a couple hours till 3 in the morning. 10-pin bowling, and you get guys with their wrist brace and their own bowling balls. And
the equivalent to the guys that have their own axes.
Yeah,
me and the guys that I still to this day play poker with, the guys from high school. Back then, when we were in high school, and sometime after, and if we weren't going out to play pool or at poker at someone's house, yeah, we did the 10-pin bowling, and we had tons of fun doing that. I stole a pair of bowling shoes one time.
They still have the exact same bowling shoes as they did from fucking way back then. They haven't even updated them.
They're just slip resistant. You can still fall on your ass.
They're same colors and everything, red and black or whatever.
If it ain't broke. Bowling balls are still pretty much the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my buddies were trying to do this scam where if there were like 8 of us, we'd all be asking for our shoes, and people would be paying one at a time, and then certain people would be like moving down the line and shuffling about. And then it would be like, and they did this a couple times where like 6 people paid, but there were 8 of us, and they kind of lost track because we were all paying individually. And then one time I got my shoes, I paid, I'm standing there waiting, and my one friend, who shall remain nameless, didn't pay. And when the guy came up to him afterwards and was like, hey, you didn't pay. He's like, oh yeah, I did. He starts arguing with the guy. And it's like, dude, you didn't fucking pay. Just fucking pay so we can bowl. And he wouldn't let it go. And the guy's like, okay, you guys need to leave. And we're like, come on, we come here all the time. What the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. And the guy wouldn't let us stay. So I was like, all right. Walked out of the bowling alley.
But you already paid.
Carrying my running shoes. And still wearing the bowling shoes.
Oh, fuck.
And I incorporated those bowling shoes into a number of Halloween costumes in the years forward. Wow, some of the things I dressed up as were really fucking offensive when I look back on it now. Wow. I mean, you could not get away with that shit nowadays.
No.
Oh, man. So this is going to be my blackface Trudeau moment right now. When I was in New York, and again, I was a fucking high school child, and this was something for sale.
Hold on. After you're done, all you have to do is say sorry. That's one thing Trudeau taught us.
Okay.
You can wear blackface multiple times, more times than you can remember. All you got to say is, I'm sorry, and this is a good part for Canadians to reflect on. Go.
All right. So I'm a 17-year-old kid on a high school art trip to New York City.
So 3 years ago.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Sleep. So I'm in New York, and we're going to all these little shops. And in one of these shops, I see one of those Jamaican hats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that you see like
the Rastafarian hats.
A Rastafarian hat.
Yeah, with the dreads hanging off.
But it's got the dreads hanging off of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is such a cool fucking hat because, you know, I'd always thought it would be fun to
I
have
still think
dreads.
it's a cool hat.
So I bought it and I wore it all through New York. And you know what? Tons of people saw me and they thought it was fucking hilarious. And nobody got offended. Nobody got mad. Nobody came up to me and said, take that fucking hat off. There was one point I'm standing in line and I'm waiting to buy something. I was buying lunch or something. And there's these two guys ahead of me. They're both black guys. They look not thuggish, but they look like don't fuck with those guys. And the one guy elbows the other guy and points at me, and the other guy just laughed. He's like, this fucking... And maybe they were laughing at me. I don't care. Bottom line, they didn't threaten to kick my ass, and they didn't say anything about it. They just thought it was funny because it is kind of funny. It's not trying to shit on their culture. It's just fun. So I had this Jamaican hat, and I had these bowling shoes, and I just learned how to sew because I wanted to start a haberdashery. So for Halloween,
I know somebody that has a haberdashery.
I do know someone. I actually had looked up what a haberdashery is because I remember in the Hateful Eight.
Oh,
in the Hateful Eight, the whole movie essentially, the second, third, and fourth act all take place at a haberdashery, and I always thought it was like a bar. I started looking it up online, and it's a place where the sewing of garments takes place. Sewing supplies are sold, men's garments, men's stuff, and a place where sometimes alcohol was secretly sold, kind of like bootlegging type stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's what a haberdashery is. Okay. Anyway, off topic. So I just learned how to sew, and I thought it would be funny to create an outfit that looked like I was homeless. So a bunch of clothes sewn together, like different parts. Like I took a pair of pants, I chopped out the crotch, and I wore them around my arms like a jacket. And for years, my friends joked about me wearing pants as a jacket. Mm-hmm. So for Halloween, I wore the Jamaican hat with the dreads, the bowling shoes, the clothes that I'd made to make myself look homeless, and I sat out front of the school pretending to be homeless on Halloween with a hat trying to get money.
That's not offensive.
I mean, could a kid do it today? Probably not. Somebody would get pissed off about it. But nobody said anything to me back then. I was like, they asked me, what are you? I was like, I'm the homeless Jamaican bowler.
So but you didn't paint your face black, right?
No, fuck no. I wouldn't, no. Now, I had my face painted white once because I was doing a play and I needed the makeup. And the lights blow you out.
Okay, so it's not the Justin Trudeau thing. So yeah, it's a fake story.
No. If I told that story while drinking out of my Santa mug, people might have thought that there's a theme going on here. I love everybody. Unless you're fucking annoying, then I hate your guts. Or if you're an asshole. Or if you're too fucking loud. Or you don't know how to drive. Then I'll fire a tomahawk missile at your fucking car and blow you up.
Tomahawk.
Well, I won't fire it. I will report you to the government, and then they'll fire it at your car and blow you up.
Toyota Tomahawk.
What the hell was you saying?
Oh, was that you? But it was
garbage and organies. You didn't win up in time. Sorry, this is my wife. I need to respond to this. What?
Yes, and we do text our wives on the podcast too, Chris. Is that allowed?
To what? So yeah, that was my offensive Halloween costume.
Interesting.
We've all got one, I guess.
You know what I did once? So I grow this beard and long hair, and then I shaved off half of it, and I cut my hair all short, and I got this suit, and I cut it in half and sewed it onto this big long purple dress. Put makeup all on one side.
People used to do that all the time back in the day.
And going to a Halloween party here in town, we had to stop at a bank to get money or something. Here we're going in dressed up. The guy's looking at me going, the fuck?
Hey, it's liberating. Let me tell you, the most comfortable I've ever been at a wedding was when I was wearing a kilt. I'm not saying I want to wear a kilt every day, but if I did wear a kilt every day, I'd probably be very comfortable. Just saying.
Scottish?
Yeah, I'm Scottish and Irish.
Mm,
Yeah, more Irish than Scottish, but
interesting.
about half of me is Scottish and Irish.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say 3/8 Scottish, 5/8 Irish, something like that. And the other half is Italian. Yeah.
Right.
I know, because I look when people look at me and they think, "Wow, there's an Italian man."
Thai.
I'm thinking of myself as a Micmac. That's me.
A Micmac.
Micmac.
Isn't it a Mic? You're the Micmac. What's a Micmac?
Micmac, somebody who's part Scottish, part Irish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought a Micmac was like a native
Well,
tribe or something.
it
The
might
Micmacs.
be, but like there's a lot of clans and a lot of names in Ireland and Scotland that are separated. They have similar sounding names, like McFarlane and Macfarlane,
Mm,
or McDaisy and MacDaisy, or Big Mac and Big Mick. Basically, those little differences are what make it Scottish or Irish. So, if you are Scottish and Irish, Micmac.
interesting.
Yeah. That might not actually be the term. That might just be something I made up, but I'm pretty sure I heard that. Like when I said that to somebody one day, they were like, "Oh, you're a Micmac."
Well, if you're offended, fucking email Double D and speak to
Email us
Mr.
at-
fucking Vane.
Double D segments, and Doug will get back to you like he got back to the guy that was offended. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that was a guy that was offended. It actually sounded like a woman.
There was no name.
No, there was no name. That's too bad. Not that we would drop your name. We've already said everything that gets sent to Double D segments is off the record. Anyone who, no, we don't say your name. Your name would be our esteemed name. You fall under the umbrella of Horatio Cornblower.
There you go.
That is who you are. And that is who you shall stay as. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
You got anything in your notepad there?
Yeah, let me just see here. No, there's nothing on there. I just brought it over to make it look good.
Oh, that does make the table look busy. The peanut butter drinks and the mugs and cups and guns, knives. Well, no guns today. Can't have guns on TikTok. You know how many of my videos got taken down for community rights violations because it was a BB gun, and yet I could find dozens of videos where people were using the same BB gun that I was making the video of.
That's fucked up. Constantine 2 is coming out.
Fuck yeah, I love Constantine. I loved it when it came out. I went and saw that shit in theaters, and I fucking loved it. And then people started giving it shit and talking crap about it, and I'm like, it was a fucking great movie. Like, I guess it wasn't Matrixy enough because it came out after the Matrix. I don't know. I loved it, and I'm glad they're making a sequel.
Yep.
You seen the trailer for Fallout?
No.
Oof, I'll send that to you later. I'm looking forward to that show. Our boy Boyd's in it. Boyd Crowder.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote.
I mean, we could keep going, but if we're done, we're done. And Doug's got to go to bed because daylight savings has fucked us up.
So it's Saturday night, but
Unless you want to do a table read.
do a table read. Yeah, let me pull it up here. Can I pull it up here?
Probably. Or do you want to use this and I can pull it
Yeah,
up?
maybe that might fucking work better.
Who's going to read for Kyle?
You, I guess. Sins of the Bounty Hunter.
Okay, I'll read for Kyle. You read...
Biscuit.
Oh, you're going to read Biscuit? You read the... fuck it. Somebody read. All right. Should I read the stage direction or should I just get right to the meat?
Camera pans in a full 180, low to the ground as the sound of running feet approaches.
Oh, this is yours. Shit. Through the dense woods. I would have never said dense. There we go. Now I'm on the right one.
Someone runs over the camera. It flips over, and we see him running upside down for a few seconds. A man, Kyle, is seen running through the woods in a long shot. He is being slowly followed by a man in sunglasses. Guess who would that be?
That'd be your man, Biscuit. Kyle, get away from me, man.
Biscuit walks into the frame, slightly out of breath. He shakes his head as the man runs.
Biscuit, to himself. Watch your step.
Kyle trips and falls, crying out in pain. Ah!
Biscuit, quietly. There we go.
The camera follows Biscuits from behind as he walks aggressively towards Kyle. Biscuit pulls out a bat. Calls it Lucille. Oh, no, sorry, wrong story.
No, that's just called Biscuit.
The shot follows the bat in Biscuit's hand on the left as he walks. Kyle crawls away on the left side of the frame.
Kyle, wait. Biscuit, do I look like a waiter? Lifts bat above his head. Kyle, I have the money. I have it. I can pay him right now. Kyle holds out a sack. Biscuit.
I probably should have wrote Kyle because Kyle in Flintlock doesn't have any. Oh, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Biscuit looks at Kyle for a moment curiously, then lowers the bat and takes the sack. He stashes it, then grips the bat, making a tightening sound. Kyle, I know he sent you. Come on, man. I'm worth more to Flintlock alive. He would want the bat smashes Kyle. Oh, that's you.
The bat smiles Kyle's knee. He screams in agony.
Kyle,
Ah!
you bastard son of a bitch. A shot of Biscuit with the bat resting on his shoulder while Kyle spouts off every mean comment he can. The word biscuit splats on the screen. I want it to kind of go with either a guitar riff or just like there's a scene in Inglourious Bastards where they're talking about the Nazi guy, or the German guy who joins the Bastards.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt's talking about him, and you just see him like standing there, and it's like, and his name appears on screen. Something like that. Biscuit, hush, princess. You're going to answer some questions. Kyle, groaning. Questions? Biscuit, yes. For starters, who's Flintlock?
Shot of an exterior to a building. The camera moves closer to the door and then starts backing away from the door on the inside. It turns past the window where you can see Biscuit in the distance dragging Kyle towards the house. The camera settles on Flintlock as he cleans gun parts.
Interior, day. Doug's bar. Right over there.
The door bursts open. A bell rings.
Biscuit drags Kyle up to the counter with a gun in his free hand. Kyle falls to the ground, his hands tied.
Well, Flintlock looks down and then up to Biscuit. Help you?
The word Flintlock splats on the screen. Biscuit, you must be Flintlock.
I am.
Well, I'm here to turn this dirtbag in. Biscuit kicks Kyle.
Really? You a bounty hunter?
I guess I am.
What's your name?
Biscuit.
Oh, you're serious.
What's the bounty on this creep? I ain't no creep. Biscuit smashes Kyle in the nose with his gun. Kyle holds his bleeding nose with his tied hands, moaning. Biscuit, you think I don't know what you did? Kyle, all right, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't want to kill them, but they tried to run, and that's when you interrupt
Oh,
him.
sorry. What the hell did you do, Kyle?
He killed a family for their supplies, made the mistake of taking a shot at me when I followed the screams. Biscuit takes Kyle by the face. You take a shot at the devil, don't miss.
Flintlock rolls his eyes.
There'll be a lot of that when I'm trying to talk tough, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Kyle, I didn't.
You really messed up this time, Kyle.
Biscuit gets Kyle on his feet. Anyway, Mr. Flintlock, I hear there's a bounty for this man, double if he's brought in alive. Kyle makes an innocent face at Flintlock and shrugs.
I'm not paying squat, Mr. Biscuits. I'm not paying you squat, Mr. Biscuits. You aren't one of my bounty hunters, and you sure as shit aren't registered. Besides, I never said I would pay double for him if he was brought in alive.
Well, shit. That's disappointing.
You have money, Kyle?
Well, not anymore. He looks at Biscuit.
Boom!
Flintlock shoots Kyle in the side of the head, spraying blood on Biscuit's face. Biscuit, hey, what the hell, man? Biscuit wipes blood from his face. Warn a guy before you pop the pews. He rubs a finger on his ear.
Pointing the gun at Biscuit. Oh, where am I? That's still you.
No, it's you. You're pointing the gun at me.
Oh.
While rubbing a
Pointing the
finger
gun
in
at
your ear
Biscuit
as well.
while rubbing a finger in his ear as well. I'll remember for next time. Now get out before I pop the pews and twos.
Hands up, laughing. Just relax. How much did he owe you?
2,000.
And how much was the bounty?
1,200.
A shot of the sack sticking out of Biscuit's backpack. Well, it would be a shame if the day was a total loss for both of us. Can we do some business before I slowly back out of here?
You have the money?
Yes, sir.
Did you kill someone for it?
A low shot of Kyle, dead on the ground. Biscuit and Flintlock in the background. Biscuit, no, sir. I did not.
Flintlock lowers his gun. Well then, welcome to the Sly Fox Haberdashery. What can I get you?
Biscuit drops the sack of money on the counter. 2 stiff drinks. Flintlock pours 2 shots. And I want to be one of your bounty hunters. He points a finger into the sack. Consider this a tribute.
Flintlock looks at the money, then back to the blood-splattered man. You want to be a bounty hunter, huh? Why?
Why not?
Credits.
Credits.
Ba-da-ba.
Naturally, there'd be less giggling and more machismo.
Yeah, I gotta get more into the mode of Flintlock voice.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find it.
I'll find it.
That's only the third version of the scene that I've written. The first one was very tailored to...
Did you kill someone for it?
No, sir, I did not.
I did.
That's what's funny about it. It's like, hey, I'm going to pay tribute to you with the money that was stolen from you. It's kind of a... I mean, you're the Sly Fox, but then, you know, Biscuit is the...
Sly Fox Haberdashery. It's good. It's good, short little...
Yeah, it's, you know, it's like a pilot. I figured it would be fun for us to do. The whole element of a person being there. I mean, you read the original version of the script. There was supposed to be like a come in, meet, I'm already a bounty hunter, but you won't take me seriously, so I go out, kill a bunch of people in a house. It's like, it'd be harder to film.
Mm-hmm.
And when Chris and I were talking about doing it as like a standalone spin-off, he's like, oh, you know, we could start it with an action beat. You're chasing someone through the woods, and maybe you bring them to Flintlock. And I was like, I could try one like that. Only issue is you have another actor to bring in.
We got the remember I wrote the fucking bonfire fucking scene?
Oh, yeah, where it's Grizz and Biscuit and Flintlock all sitting around
telling fucking some stories. And you can
stories.
hear fucking Pugsley and fucking Thing laughing in the background. They go take off after them.
Yeah. Well, according to what he's saying is if he ever starts doing it again, Grizz isn't going to exist in the timeline, because I think he
Well, it
wants
could
to
be just Biscuit and Flintlock then.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows who could be coming in or coming out? But I mean, you kind of set it up that it's like it's their show. They're the two guys, and then there's, you know, you can have some reoccurring characters based on, you know, people who want to come in and do stuff, and then some that are just the baddie of the episode.
You can have some that come in and then fucking disappear, and they may come back and they may not. You never fucking know. You never find. Walking Dead did that all the time. There were characters that would come in and be in a couple episodes, and then all of a sudden, oh, they're gonna stay here, and they leave, and then they come back again, and the guy's gone. They don't know. They just don't know what happened. You don't know.
Yeah.
Did they die? Did they join another group? What happened to them? Don't know.
Well, see, it's kind of going to be like, you know how I said that my favorite part of Justified was always when Boyd and Raylan were kind of on the same side?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like that. You're kind of the Raylan, and I'm kind of the Boyd. And it's like the show is about those two very different personality types kind of working together. So I'm kind of the unhinged, a little bit off the law, and you're a little unhinged yourself, but more on the side of the law. Because Raylan is by no means, he's kind of crooked.
Straight as an arrow.
No, he's not. He's definitely
crooked. He was justified in every shooting.
Oh, his shootings were usually justified, but he also did like leave people to die, like at the airport that time. I mean, the guy was a piece of shit. He deserved to die. I'm not saying he didn't, but there were things Raylan did that were bending or breaking the law. Trying to put the money back that his wife stole. That was one of my favorite episodes. Them trying to sneak the money back in. But yeah, Raylan is a chaotic hero, and Boyd is a, at times, angelic devil.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of not saying that their story arcs or their character arcs are exactly the same, but you know, it's kind of like those two characters that you wish would work together.
That's the transformation of the character in the story.
Yeah. But I'm not going to talk like Boyd. But you can shoot people like Raylan.
Right. But I was talking about the character arcs or the Jenner.
The character arc. Got it on the third try. Still had the drink. It's a sad day for me. But it's all good.
Right.
But I mean, and that's not final draft. I mean, we could put more in. We could put something else after it. But just to kind of get something down that I think would be relatively easy for us to find.
I can see tweaking a bit of the wording and all that to more to how a character would put it in that time frame instead of just plain English type of thing.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, just like not necessarily changing the sentence or anything, but throwing in, you know, I don't know, maybe not for Kyle, but Flintlock.
Like Flintlock would speak in very proper language.
He wouldn't use very proper, but kind of maybe cut English, like you know,
saying ain't instead of are not.
Yeah, type of thing. You know.
Well, and again, that's the thing. That's where the freedom of the character comes in. You really a bounty hunter, boy?
What's your name, son? I don't know, something like that, right?
Well, yeah. And again,
just little nuances to the sentence that changes to how his character might be when I figure out what his character would be.
Well, and
you know what I mean?
I didn't figure Biscuit out until after I was done playing him.
Yeah.
You know, I got my two scenes with him, and I looked at those two scenes, and I see the parts of it I like and the parts of it that I didn't like, and kind of started to figure out how I wanted him to be in scenes going forward. I want him to be a bit playful, but I also want him to be a little menacing. But also, like, there's times I say shit, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, you trying to sound like something right now?
He points the guy, you got my money? You have my money, Kyle? You got my money? Something like that. A little bit, just change it.
A little more of a draw.
Right?
Yeah.
Not, do you have my money, Kyle?
See, we could do...
But you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Just the way he says a sentence to a character may change just slightly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Saying the same thing, but maybe just a little bit in a different way.
I challenge you to do this then. Write yourself a scene. Because Kyle and Flintlock know each other. So either Kyle worked for Flintlock or he knows him in some capacity, and Kyle fucked him over, which is why or borrowed money from him, something. There's some way that they know each other. So you could write yourself a scene about how they know each other or the situation in which Kyle ends up owing Flintlock $2,000.
How did Flintlock get to run this haberdashery and run? So he runs a bunch of bounty hunters, eh?
Well, yeah, he has a haberdashery as kind of a front.
Right.
You know, he sells liquor, he sells
thing.
guns, he's a bounty officer. He has some guys working for him. You know, and again, I didn't try. Like I said, this scene wasn't me trying to get too big into the world building.
Yeah.
Some of the other versions of this scene, there was the world building.
No, but for me to put the character together,
well, yeah,
think of a whole
all that lives up here. So, I mean, there've been a number of versions of Flintlock. The original version, he was part ghoul, and I never liked that.
Right.
I like the idea that maybe it happened eventually, but it was going to be at the start. But I was always resistant to it. I just kind of wanted him to be a normal, like a slightly older bounty hunter, a guy who'd survived all this shit. And it was like he gets himself out of it and then brings himself back in, right, when he finds something worth fighting for. But then there've been multiple versions of him, and now you have the absolute friggin' freedom. You've been living with this character for almost a year. You can make it whatever the hell you want.
So is this in the world of Those Who Remain, or is this kind of just totally different? It's just the character from Those Who Remain of Biscuit, but it's not.
If the show went forward, this could be a part of it.
It may branch into it.
May
But it's the
branch
story of
into
these
it.
two guys.
So that, yeah, and if Those Who Remain never happens, this story could go forward without being involved in it. But if it does happen, I mean, this is clearly a post-apocalyptic story.
Yes.
And we're not necessarily talking about ghouls, but we're talking about how there's people out there, it's hard to survive. You know, there isn't a lot of order and law.
So technically, you could use the scene where you fucking busted up Percy.
Yeah, you might need to cut some stuff
into
out.
that story.
Because I did some edits of it to try and not include certain things.
Right.
And even if we couldn't use the whole thing, you can use parts of it.
Yeah.
You just cut out the parts where he mentions Neodyne or ghouls, and there's a lot of like little clips in there you can use. And the same with the scene with Miles. You could use some of the footage. There's even a shot because I talk about how.
How about the one with what you almost got when you almost died?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
scavenger one.
Yeah.
And there's also a scene that we did test footage, Chris and I, where it's a shot of Biscuit walking in the woods. He's got a freaking gun in each hand. He walks by a tree and a bullet hits the tree. Yeah. I talk about how Kyle made the mistake of taking a shot at me when I was going towards the screens. You could use that. Just fit that in. It doesn't need to be the whole thing. Just I walk past the tree and boom, gunshot hits the tree, get into a firefight. And then the next shot. The only problem with that is in that scene, I was dressed as Biscuit, which that might not be the look I go for moving forward.
Right.
With the ropes on the arms, that might be something I might do or might not. I don't want to be handcuffed to that idea that he has to be a guy with the ropes around the arms and the hoodie with the fucking cut thing at the top. That was an old rendition. If we're going to go fresh, I can basically make him look whoever the fuck I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it could be that, you know, maybe that's how he used to be or that's how he was sometimes, but that's not a look I necessarily want to be locked into.
So you're not looking at making segments like long episodes.
Well, I mean, and one of the things I'd said, and I said this to Chris a number of times, is you can have an episode be broken into 3 parts, where it's like, this is episode 1, part 1. And then you have all 3 come out, and then that's an episode. And then you re-release it all together. So you have episode 1, part 1, episode 1, part 2, episode 1, part 3. And then you can release.
I think you're going to find you'll have more people watching the episodes if they're like between 3 and I think it was 12 minutes long or something.
Yeah. I mean, people want their
Once
content.
they get too long,
more.
it gets too long.
Yeah. And that's why it would be like, this is kind of the first bit. And then you can have a bit that takes place after this where like we're out in the back and you're trying to assess if I can actually do some of the things a bounty hunter needs to do.
Bullets on a fence.
Bullets on a fence. You know, we're standing there, you're explaining stuff to me, and I'm just like, okay. And like, all right, now pick that up, and I just wait. Ting, 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 ting. Next. What do you need to know next, Flintlock? Well, It'd be nice to know if you could take a punch, huh?
Yeah.
You're just aces across the board, boy. I don't know. But, I mean, again, you look at the character, you look at the language, and you can decide, play with it a little bit, say the lines.
I'll make the character up.
Yeah, and then if there are changes to the way he speaks, hell, use this as a markup. Take it, look at the lines that you're writing, get yourself a red pen, and just be like, I could say it more like this.
I do it in red.
If you want, you can do it in blue or black if you want.
No, you said red.
You have my money, Kyle? You got my money, boy? You got my money, Pilgrim? You have my money, Kyle?
Where's my fucking money?
Well, and I always wonder. Well, I'm not against swearing because, clearly there's violence and blood being sprayed on my face. Well, what happened there? Somebody coming in?
No.
But, yeah. The swearing, if we're going to go with the swearing, we can always add the swearing in later. There's so many lines here where the swearing is implied. You bastard son of a bitch. And I just think that part's funny where he's saying all this heinous shit, and I'm just standing there with a smile on my face. Bam!
Bastard son of a bitch.
And I wanted to make something equal like that for Flintlock, but I wasn't sure which moment. And I just thought that that first moment help you. You just come across like such a nice, helpful guy while you're cleaning gun parts. Maybe eating a raw steak with a knife. Help you?
Kind of half interested.
Yeah. Well, that line is from every version of this script. The first thing you say to me when I walk in is just, help you? Like, fuck do you want? Yeah. So many versions of this scene, but this one's a full rewrite, and I don't know, I like it. Because it doesn't world build, it just sets the characters up. Yeah.
Yep.
So mark that up, find the words, and then we'll lose a couple of inches of height and film that scene. Just swing them.
Swinging the bats.
Swinging the bats.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
You need you got a big knife you're going to use for your like close range, or you got a hatchet. That was his thing, right? Hatchet and sniper rifle, handguns.
Yeah, I have a machete. I got a
No machetes.
I don't know.
No machetes.
Yeah.
No machetes. Right.
I got a throwing axe.
If we do this in 3
I
parts,
have yeah.
I would want the third part to be the introduction of the Argo, because that would be like, you see all those shows where there's like a vehicle that's like a character on the show.
Clean this up.
Oh, a sickle? Yeah, that works. Stick them with a sickle. You're looking kind of sickly. You should meet my friend. I kept going back and forth between the bat or a gun in the first scene, but I'm like, it's Biscuit. He's got to bash him with a bat.
Biscuit in the bat.
Although now that I spent so much time in the character, I wish I'd spelt it Bizkit. But it's carved. It's carved into the little bat as BIS.
Oh,
Yeah. But that's okay. There's a whole storyline about the little bat and what it signifies.
Biscuit.
Yeah. It's like Biscuit is... Did I ever tell you the story? Why he has the T-ball bat? With the biscuit
You might have.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's not his bat. It belongs to somebody else.
Right.
And the big bat is his. And I never carved anything into that. It just has a big chunk missing out of it from the machete. Like, literally, there's a chunk missing from the bat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that was fun. Table read here on our talk show.
see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, because you got thing. That's why we did that extra half hour for our Patreon listeners. We were going to cut it, but we gave you another 21 minutes because you're not going to have anything for 2 weeks.
The table read of the pilot episode of
Sins of the Bounty Hunter. Oh, that's, again, working title. Sins of the Bounty Hunter came out when I
thought
wrote
there was
the
another
second.
title.
There was Sly Fox Bloody Biscuit.
Oh,
That's the title of the file. Sly Fox Bloody
okay.
Biscuit. And then Sins of the Bounty Hunter is when I rewrote the scene to incorporate the whole blood sickness storyline I came up with about the different zones and Biscuit's coming from one zone to the next, and he's looking for Flintlock because he knows something. There was a whole world I was building there. And there was something about your history where your history as a bounty hunter had been going out and getting people and being told what their crimes were, and it wasn't true. You were getting these people because they had a certain blood type, but you didn't know.
oh
that.
right, yeah.
You had no idea. You were collecting bounties on innocent people that were being sold for their blood. And when you figured that out, you gave up bounty hunting. Hence why the story, and again, my character had other shit in his past too. So it was basically about these two guys trying to make up for all the shit they did. So Sins of the Bounty Hunter. But it also just kind of works because we're not the kindest people. We find justice in a dark and bloody way. Yeah.
Works for me.
We're good men.
On that note,
We're not nice men.
no.
Yeah.
But whatever. You know what? That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
We're done. I'd like to thank my co-host and guest for coming on the new and revamped version of our talk show. We didn't know we had a talk show. And I'd like to thank our listeners.
Help you.
Join your hands on a sign of thanks.
Help you.
Peace be with you. Help you.
Email. Help you.
You take a shot at the devil. Don't miss. Move north.
Buy a truck.
Get someone pregnant.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.